getting the signal. We're ready to start. So who's ready for Hall of Fame night? Come on, come on. All right, and you know, with any big event like this, it always starts with a red carpet, but here we have a purple runway. So I'm gonna introduce you to our runway host. She's the face of Full Sail, the beautiful, the talented, my personal inspiration, Tracy Wu.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Full Sail University's Hall of Fame night. We are here on the red carpet. It's actually purple and multicolored, but we're gonna get you started in just a little bit. And as you know, if you don't know, for all of us watching online, Full Sail Hall of Fame is a week-long celebration where we celebrate our students, and of course, we're gonna induct 6 of our graduates into this year's Hall of Fame. This is our most exciting time here at Full Sail University, here in Winter Park, Florida. So welcome everybody who's joining us, and we're gonna kick off the red carpet with Monique, who's all the way on the other side, who's gonna introduce our guests.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Here we are at the beginning of the red carpet with our very first guest. She's the recipient of our 2018 Extraordinary Educator Award. Please welcome Lindsay Spalding.
Take a chance with me. Would you ever take a leap with me? Would you ever change your frequency?
All right, here they come, looking sharp as ever down our red carpet. One more time from the 2010 Hall of Fame class. Give it up, everybody. It's Leslie Brathwaite, Steve Canis, and Troy DeVold. All right, everybody, let's hear some noise for the crowd. We've got some more guests coming down our red carpet. Are you guys ready? Here we go, everybody. Our next guest, please welcome Don Wershba.
We're here with Don Wershba from SSL, who is also our Industry Icon Award winner. Don, I know you want to address our students today. You've had a great career, and you've obviously been a great inspiration to Full Sail University. Tell us what you want to tell our students today.
I had the just the best bunch of days here. We had a wonderful group today, and Full Sail is putting out just the best young professionals anywhere. And it's a pleasure to be here, and it's an honor to be getting this award. And all I can say is thank you.
Well, thank you, Dawn, for everything you've done for Full Sail University and for inspiring our student body. We really appreciate it. So enjoy this day, enjoy the evening. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
Dawn Worship, everybody.
I like it rough like this. Let's say go on and move your shit out. I like it rough like this. Go on and move your shit out. I like it rough like this. Let's say go on and move your shit out. I like it rough like this. Go on and move your shit out. I like it rough.
Please welcome to the red carpet our sponsors, Apple.
Go on and move your shit out. I like it rough like this. I like it rough like this. I like it rough like this. Let's say go on and move your bit out. I like it rough like this. Go on and move your bit out. I like it rough like this.
I look at this so deep in your eyes. I touch on you more and more every time. When you leave, I'm begging you not to go. Call your name 2-3 times in a row. Such a funny thing for me to try to explain. How I'm feeling in my pride is the one to blame. Cause I know I don't understand. The type of love you're doing, no one else can.
Joining us for the party is Hall of Fame class of 2011. Let's welcome Cully Bunker, Jameson Dural, and Sean Spurler.
Crazy right now, most incredibly, it's your girl, B, it's your boy, Young.
Crazy, my baby, I'm not myself. Lately I'm foolish, I don't do this. I've been playing myself, baby, I don't care. 'Cause your love got the best of me. Baby, you're making a fool of me. You got me wrong and I don't care who sees. Baby, you got me so crazy, baby. You ready?
All right, here we come. It's our first Hall of Fame class. Gary Rizzo, Cordy Ryerson, and Sebastian Chris. All right, everybody, here we go. Coming down our red red carpet now from Austin, Texas. Please say hello to the team from Rooster Teeth. It's the home of the Florida Film Festival, which is coming up on its 27th year. Please welcome our friend from the Enzian, Henry Maldonado. Here we go. Please welcome Hall of Fame class from 2014. Nathaniel Howell, Carlton Lynn, Charity Lomax, and Rick Veers.
Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive, it's my anthem. It's your
Let's give a warm, Full Sail welcome to the Hall of Fame class of 2012, Chance Glasgow, Marcella Areca, and Susan Rose.
Be worlds apart, maybe in magazines, but you still be my star, baby. 'Cause in the dark, you can't see shiny cars, and that's when you need me there. With you, I'll always share. Because when the sunshine will shine together, told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath, I'ma stick it out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we'll still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella.
All right, everybody, put your hands together from the 2015 Hall of Fame class. Please welcome Keith Garrett, Ashish Manchada, Frank Schuring, Michelle Solbachik, Penintado, and Jeff Unai. And don't forget Jordan DJ Swivel Young.
My heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana,
Friends and family of Full Sail, he's the mayor of Winter Park. Let's welcome the Honorable Steve Leary.
You satisfy the need in me. You're always on my mind. And I just need your love tonight. You keep me satisfied. You satisfy the need in me. You're always on my mind. And I just need your love tonight.
Well, as we said, we are here with Mayor of Winter Park, Steve Leary. How are we today?
We are great. What a great day again in the city of Winter Park, and thank you, Full Sail, for everything you do for our community.
Well, thank you for everything you do for us. But you've come to Full Sail multiple times. If you've been here for Hall of Fame, what do you think of Hall of Fame 9 so far?
I love Hall of Fame night. Every year it's a great thing. Tonight's another great event I'm looking forward to. I've been here so often, I think I deserve a degree.
Oh, wow. I'm sure. Well, have you met Gary Jones? I'm sure we can figure something out later.
I know Gary a little bit. What's up?
Just a little bit. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again for everything you do for us. Give it up, everybody. Mayor Steve Leary. Have a good one.
He's a legendary sportscaster who you've recently seen on the Super Bowl, along with Sunday Night Football and his own nationally syndicated show. And he's partnered with Full Sail to launch a sportscasting degree for a new generation of talent. Give it up for Mr. Dan Patrick, everybody. We also have award-winning sports producer Ed Gorin and sports media veteran and program director for the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, Gus Ramsey.
Well, folks, we have Dan Patrick here. How are you today, Dan?
I'm great. I appreciated the round of applause, so thank you.
I'm sure you're very used to it. But Dan, you just launched the Full Sail University's Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. This is so exciting for us. Tell us what you think about this program so far. You have some people already signed up.
Yeah, it's been something that we've been working on for quite some time, and I just, once I found what Full Sail was all about and how specific they are to get people into a job that they really want to do, I said, why not create a sportscasting degree? Gary Jones, Josh Moore have been unbelievably helpful, and I got a great partner in Gus Ramsey, got a great advisory board, so we got our first students on campus, so it's pretty exciting.
Well, we're very excited to have you as part of Full Sail University, but what everybody really wants to know, how is the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl was great, and I didn't screw it up when I was handing out the Super Bowl trophy. So, when 100 million people are watching, that's all you want to do is make sure you hand it to the right person, ask a few questions, and get the hell off the stage.
Oh, okay. Words of advice from Dan Patrick, obviously. Well, Dan, thank you so much. Let's give it up, everybody, for Dan Patrick. Thank you.
Please welcome our co-chair, John and Esther Phelps and family.
Baby, why can't you pretend that nothing here has changed? Let's rewind, we'll be fine. You forgave me, believe.
All right, coming down our red carpet now, let's give it a loud applause for our sponsors, Facebook.
There is no need to worry. I need you to use your imagination. I need you to use your imagination. No, don't tell me that you're leaving. I need you to use your imagination. Imagine you remember me, and that you still believe a word I say. See, everybody makes mistakes, and if we make believe, it will go away. Let's rewind, we'll be fine. You forgave me, believe that I'm sorry. Close your eyes, we'll be fine. Make me sight, there is no need to worry.
From our 2013 Hall of Fame class, let's give it up for Kim Alpert, Tom Boyd, Leon Hopkins, Larry Katz, and Demo. Let's give a warm welcome to our sponsors, CDWG. Now coming down the red carpet, let's welcome our sponsors from USTA, the United States Tennis Association. From our 2016 Hall of Fame class, please give a big round of applause for Stephen Barris, Albert Perez, Jack Eckler, and Martin Potosny. Coming down our carpet now, sponsors, HP. Let's give them a round of applause. Coming down our carpet now, you know them well. A huge round of applause for our sponsors, Google.
It's looking like it been dim. Script looking like it been flipped. Pull up in that for my car. Please say it ain't true. I can go and cop to her and I'ma keep it now. future open up inside. World, hold on. One day you will have to answer to the children of the sky. World, hold on. Instead of messing with our future, tell me no more lies, no. World, hold on. One day you will have to answer to the children of the sky.
2017 Industry Icon recipient. Let's hear it for Bruce Swedeen.
All right, how is everybody doing out there so far? Yeah? Everyone having a great time? How about our online audience? I can't hear them, but I'm sure they're having a great time. Don't forget, while you're experiencing this today, use Full Sail hashtag, which is hashtag Full Sail HOF, Full Sail HOF, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook. Of course, just throw it all out there. We will put it on our video wall. So let's share your experience so we can inspire everybody else out there. Let's get back to the red carpet right now. Please give a warm round of applause for another one of our generous sponsors. Let's say hello to our friends at ADDY.
Got ready for the night in. She's heading for the lights. She sees the vision going. La 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 la. See how she looks like trouble. See how she dances.
Please give a warm welcome to one of our sponsors, Murphy Lighting Systems.
She can't tell the difference. hiding. She's heading for the lights, but she sees the vision going. Coughing light after light. See how she looks like trouble. See how she dances and she sips the Coca-Cola. She can't tell the difference yet.
Let's give it up for our sponsors, Adobe.
She can't tell the difference yet. She can't tell the difference.
They're gonna show us how it's done. Let's welcome President of Full Sail, Gary Jones, and Chief Information Officer, Isis Jones.
She can't tell the difference yet. That's what you're coming for, but
Now, a warm welcome to our co-chairmen and their families, Ed Haddock, Bill Hebner, and John Phelps. Making their way down the carpet now, our special guests who will be inducting our newest Hall of Fame class.
something to be starting something. 'Cause I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. It's hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. It's hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. It's hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. It's hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. You're not a bitch that you're good, and you're always up to no good. You really can't make them see her, so you done became a racer. Someone's always riding to keep my baby crying. Pressure coming declining. You got my baby crying. Be starting something. I got to be starting something. I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. I wanna be starting something. I got to be starting something. It's hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. It's hard to get over. It's too low to get under.
All right, let's give a huge round of applause for President of Sony Professional Solutions America, Katsunori Yamanouchi, along with award-winning National Geographic filmmaker Bob Cowen, and our amazing sponsors at Sony.
All right, folks, this is a very exciting day. We're here with Sony. How has your Hall of Fame experience been so far?
It's been awesome so far.
Yeah, so far so good. So I heard a rumor that something new and exciting was unveiled here today at Full Sail University. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Right, we unveiled some new camera for the cinema filmmaking. We call it Venice. That is our first full-frame camera from Sony.
Very cool. So do our students get to use this?
Yeah, soon.
All right. Well, Bob, you are an Emmy Award-winning director of photography, and you have years of experience working with National Geographic, with BBC, PBS. Do you have any advice for our student body out there?
Just have fun with it, that's what it's all about. I think that's the only way you can get anywhere in this career is just love what you do.
And he's still smiling, so obviously that is great advice. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. Thank you to Sony and to all of our sponsors. Let's give them a round of applause, everyone. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We are about to start Hall of Fame 9, so please take your seats, get comfortable, get your cameras out, and just so you all know, we will have loud music. We might have some pyro, some lasers, some strobe effects, so just be warned. But here we go. Let's kick it off. Welcome, Hall of Fame 9.
Obviously, there are many reasons why graduates are chosen to become members of the Hall of Fame. And there really isn't a day that goes by that you don't find a student talking about how, you know what, that's going to be me one day. That kind of inspiration, that's the reason we have a Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and welcome our 9th annual Hall of Fame inductees. This is 1997 graduate of Recording Arts, is an Emmy Award-winning production sound supervisor, mixer, and owner at Stickman Sound. His career has encompassed live sports, entertainment, TV, film, and commercials, working on projects for HBO's Boxing, Coldplay in VR, Fox Sports, Top Gear America, The Ultimate Fighter, and Flightline Films. Welcome, Fernando Delgado. He is a 2007 Digital Arts and Design graduate, an award-winning director, editor, and visual effects artist. His work includes projects for Beyonce, Kanye West, Lady Gaga, as well as commercial work for Mercedes, Google, Mattel, and Warner Brothers. He has filmed in more than 25 countries around the world. This is Brett Novak. This 2004 Recording Arts graduate is an engineer and producer who has worked with legendary production team of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis on projects for Usher, Janet Jackson, 50 Cent, and many more. He has also produced music for TV shows including Empire, MTV's Real World, BET's Sunday Best, and Apollo Live. He recently worked on tour with Bruno Mars and now works with multi-Grammy award-winning artist Mariah Carey. This is Tremaine 6'7" Williams. She is a 2006 film and 2007 entertainment business graduate who now serves as the Orlando Film Commissioner and Senior Director of Marketing and Communications with the Orlando Economic Partnership. She has worked closely with productions in the Central Florida region, including Tomorrowland, Paper Towns, Sisters, The In-Betweeners, Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Her production background includes work for Warner Brothers, HBO, and CNN, as well as serving as past president of Women in Film and Television, Florida. Welcome to Orlando's own Sheena Fowler. This 2008 game design and development graduate is owner of Shonk Ventures and executive director of the Game Developers Foundation. His work has included technical producer on Rage, as well as producer on the Doom franchise for id Software. He served as producer on Epic Games' Fortnite and lead producer on Battle Breakers. He is Grant Wyler. He is a 1994 Recording Arts graduate who serves as front of house engineer, monitor engineer, and production manager touring the world for the past 20 years in support of artists that include Metallica, Melissa Etheridge, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Ringo Starr, George Benson, and many more. Currently on tour, joining us tonight from Mannheim, Germany, this is Bob Cowen. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by the official Hall of Fame 9 band from Orange County Public Schools, the Ocoee High School Marching Band, under the direction of Bernard Hendricks. Please welcome Full Sail University President Gary Jones.
You people are awesome. Oh my gosh, I love you guys too. You may be seated. Good grief, we're off to a great start. How about that marching band? That was amazing. What a great start. And oh my God, you people are precious. I actually mean, oh my God, you people are precious. What a great collection of students, current students, graduates that came back to participate in the week, our Hall of Fame members, past and present today, right? It's an amazing night and an amazing week. So, I need to remind you that we are not just live on our campus today, but we are live streaming this to the world at large, so wave your paws in the air to all the good people joining us online. Hello, Full Sail online students and graduates around the world. Great to be with all of you. What is Hall of Fame week? First and foremost, my buddies, it's a family reunion. A reporter asked me earlier, what's the difference between your Hall of Fame and like a typical homecoming event? And my answer was, ours is a family reunion. It's welcoming back people we adore, people that we cherish, and people that give back to this place in immeasurable and uncountable ways. That's what Hall of Fame at Full Sail is. And it's not just tonight, guys. This is like the icing on the cake, but Hall of Fame is over 200 events that spanned this entire week past and tomorrow, and a few things on the weekend as well. It's panel discussions. It's live stream events to our online audiences, our online students. It is networking events. It's our Hall of Fame members mentoring one-on-one and in small groups, current bodies and groups of students. It is a collection of things designed to inspire, to teach, to educate, to elevate everything that is Full Sail University. Summarily speaking, Hall of Fame is the epitome of everything great about Full Sail University. It's a celebration of dreams that have come true. It's a celebration of broken hearts that have struggled and fought and through blood, sweat, and tears made it happen against the odds. There are stories that bring tears to our eyes. There are stories that bring tears to our eyes. Both versions. This is an amazing celebration of the human spirit, of passion and denying the seemingly insurmountable odds and doing whatever it takes to build and forge your career doing what you want. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what Hall of Fame is all about. And thank you for being a part. Today, when you're doing your social media exercises and letting the world know where you are, please remember to include hashtag FullSailHOF. Hi, Larry. Hashtag FullSailHOF, right? Let's trend, right, Melissa? Yes, let's do that. And now, it is my great, great joy to introduce not just the mayor of Winter Park, Mayor Steve Leary, but I want to introduce you a friend of Full Sail's, a man that has vision, that cares deeply about his constituents, that cares about the city of Winter Park, and champions the good work that should be and is happening around this fine, fine place we call home. Please welcome Mayor Steve Leary.
Thank you all very much. It's always a great honor to be here. To be considered part of your family is truly just an honor for me and my family, and to have you in our community, for someone with not much of a creative bone, I am in awe of what you do. part of what I do is try to sell Winter Park to the rest of the world. And when I talk about all the great things that we do here to recruit businesses, to recruit new residents, Full Sail is at the top of the list. You make my job easier, and I deeply appreciate that friendship we have and that coordination between Full Sail and the city of Winter Park. So today I bring you a proclamation from the city of Winter Park. Whereas today is Full Sail University Hall of Fame Day in the city of Winter Park. Whereas Full Sail University is a tremendous community partner, adding to the vibrant quality of life in Winter Park for over 35 years. And whereas Full Sail offers an education like no other institution via immersive teaching methods in both real-world production studios and classrooms, as well as an online learning environment. And whereas Full Sail is honoring its most distinguished graduates and 2017 Hall of Fame inductees, Bob Cowen, Fernando Delgado, Sheena Fowler, Brent Novak, Grant Shankwaller, and Tremaine Williams. Now, therefore, I, Steve Leary, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Winter Park in the state of Florida, do hereby proclaim Thursday, February 15th, 2018, as Full Sail University Hall of Fame Day in the city of Winter Park, and urge all citizens to support the university and congratulate the 2018, correct? Did I screw that up before? Hall of Fame inductees. Thank you all very much. So now this is kind of cool. I don't do this too often, that I get to introduce the Emmy Award-winning sportscaster, radio personality, and the namesake of the Full Sail University Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. Please give it up for Dan Patrick.
Thank you. Before I went on stage, the mayor goes, "You know the best thing about being mayor? You get a damn good parking spot." That's what I want out of my mayor. Thank you. First of all, the one thing I'd like to do is everybody stand up, if you can, okay? Everybody stand up. Because you should stand up and be proud, and I'm sure you are. As an outsider, you've allowed me to visit your campus and now be a part of your community. But a standing ovation for all of you, because what you've established here, you may not realize it because you're too close to it. What I love about it from the day I step foot on campus is the family feeling you have. And meeting with the Hall of Famers last night, what I loved about that is giving back, understanding the reciprocation, because we've all been in that place where you go, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know if I'm gonna have a job, but the people I met last night who understand that, and I hope one day with my sports broadcasting school, we're able to have Hall of Famers out there. It would be one of the greatest achievements of my life to have that. So, congratulations. You may now sit down. I'm excited about this sports broadcasting degree, to be a part of this, and we're doing something that has never been done before, and to have Gary Jones and Josh Mora, able to open their eyes and say, we can do this. And it's my legacy. I've been a sportscaster for over 35 years, but this is something that will, I hope, last, when I'm gone. And I'm very proud to be a part of that and have an actual sports broadcasting degree, something that nobody else has in the country. I don't know if you know this, but we also have a sports team on Full Sail University. With the proliferation of all these video games with esports, so it's gone global here, and we're keeping up with everybody else, the esports teams, under the official Full Sail Armada banner. Please welcome the 10 captains of Armada, along with the club president and Armada esports general manager, Hoyt Dingus. Hoyt.
Thank you so much, Dan. It's an honor to officially launch the Armada Esports teams as part of Hall of Fame Week. I would now, at this time, like to recognize the 10 teams. If you guys would please stand. If you'll notice, they're over here on the bleachers. On behalf of the newly formed Armada teams, we would like to present Dan Patrick with the first official team jersey.
Considering this almost caught fire last year, I don't think fuego is what we want on the back of a jersey. But thank you.
I think we're going to do a photo real quick.
Once again, Armada, full sail as we dive into esports. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. All right, I got a couple of prizes for some Hall of Famers here, and to help me out, if you'll help me welcome the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. David Franco. David?
Thank you, thank you. Check 1, 2. Thank you, Dan. It's great to be here. I want to bring up really last year's champion of our skills program here. Please put it together for our previous Hall of Famer, the champ, Cully Bunker. And to play against Cully, you know him, you love him.
By the way, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Collie was liquored up last night, just letting you know. He's still liquored up right now.
You're correct, Dan. Please welcome previous Hall of Famer Leslie Brathwaite. And out from here, I have two students I'd like to bring on the stage here. Right now, playing with Cully Bunker, please welcome Smooth from Recording Arts. And Courtney from the film program will be playing with Leslie. All right, you're gonna stand next to them. They're gonna do all the work, and Dan's gonna ask the questions. Back to you, Dan.
Wow. Okay, question number 1. And if you know the answer, you can buzz in right away. You don't have to wait for me to. This isn't Jeopardy. You don't have to wait until it's finished, okay? All right. This NBA Hall of Famer teamed up with a rapper to shoot a video called Hercules Remix, right?
And Leslie Brathwaite?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal is correct. There's already infighting over here. Question number 2. This sports network was founded the same year as
Cully Bunker.
ESPN.
That is correct.
ESPN,
That is correct.
It's a tie. It's a tie, Dan, so far.
So it could come down to this final question, Doctor. It's weird. I said, hey, Dave. He goes, it's Doctor. And I said, okay, Doc. Doctor. Question number 3. Full Sail University was founded in this Ohio town.
Wow, Cully Bunker, what is your answer?
Dayton, Ohio.
That is correct. That is correct. Well done.
Wow, Cully Bunker, the reigning champion. And Cully, Smooth has won an HD Hero 6 GoPro. I know, Courtney, you're in film. You're in film. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys can talk after this on there. And, well, Cully, that's for the students, please. But Courtney, we didn't forget about you too. You're gonna win a Nintendo Switch game system for you. So yes, that's a good prize too. Oh, they like that one too. But maybe you can talk to Smooth, and maybe you can do a little, comparison on there. That's for you. Well, we want to thank Dan for being here. He has to catch a plane and go back to the Dan Patrick Show, which airs at 9 a.m. tomorrow on DirecTV and NBC Sports. Let's give it up for Mr. Dan Patrick.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Before I leave, I want to bring back my new best friend, Gary Jones. And I think all of you know, if you're around Gary, you're going to get a hug. And I didn't realize how many hugs I would get, so I could see him every 20 minutes, and he'd be like this, like, bring it in here. And I kept thinking, is ISIS not loving him at home? Is that why he's like... So I don't know, but I count the seconds that, like if a man hugs me, I give you 3 seconds. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, and then I have to tap him, like on the back, and then he releases me. But the generosity and warmth that I found with Gary Jones is real, and you're very, very lucky to have him. So let's bring back Gary Jones. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon.
That's my dad!
Dan Patrick, ladies and gentlemen, what a guy. So before the show opens, we're standing backstage side by side, and Dan says, "Gary, are you nervous?" I said, "No, I'm pretty excited." He said, "I'm nervous for you." Boy, the students in that sportscasting degree are so fortunate to have him. I had the privilege of watching him teach in 2 different classrooms. And that man could do more with a student's question to bring out more thought and deeper introspection than the student imagined they even had. He had them speaking to things that just tied magically to the questions they asked. We're so looking forward to everything about Gus Ramsey, the program director, and Dan's involvement. It's going to be it is a great thing. So, would you please join me in welcoming all the Hall of Famers that returned to this campus this week and have given mornings, noon, night, meeting with students one-on-one, in lecture halls, in labs, demonstrating their crafts and their abilities. Please stand, all of the existing Hall of Famers, not the new inductees, just the existing ones. Please stand and take a bow. Look around you. 36 people came back this week to give to our students. And these guys actually have day jobs. They're still here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Next, I would like to talk about some students, current students that are here, that are music composers, and they have put together, composed, the music that will walk on each of our new inductees, all 6, each one. There's an original music track written by one of our students here, and so they're on the front row, up here close to the front row, I think. Let me have them stand as I call their names, and these are the composers that created the original music you'll be hearing later in the ceremony. Stephen Mansfield, Cameron Coelho, Michael Dupé, Simon Zapata, Alejandro Diera Silva, and Zachary Wright. Would you please stand? Where are you? Yeah, there you are. Great work, you guys. Great work. So their names will appear on the screens when each of their original compositions play, so you'll know who recorded or composed what. Thank you guys very much for being a part. Love you, mean it. So my next order of business is Gary Rizzo. What are you doing? Gary Rizzo, current Hall of Fame member, nominated 5 times for Oscars, winner of an Oscar for his work on Inception, and nominated again this year for his amazing work on the hit film Dunkirk. That is Gary Rizzo. Cast your eyes upon him.
Gary Jones, Gary, I love you. You're the best. You truly are Mr. Incredible. So I'm gonna go off script for just a second here. The amount of passion in this school is undeniable. It's evident in the staff, it's evident in these inductees, and in the entire student body. And I am blown away by that. And I gotta say, I spent a little time and I was blown away even more by the amount of passion that drives tonight first Hall of Fame inductee.
I never wanted a real job. Like, that's the one thing I do remember about myself in high school, is that I never wanted a real job. I never wanted to wear a uniform, and I never wanted to wear a name tag. But I didn't believe for a second that people made a living in entertainment. I thought they went and they did whatever they did during the day, and then at night, they'd all run home, get showered up, put on their show blacks, and let's go put on a show. John Morris was my technical theater teacher at the Las Vegas Academy. And he came up to me one day and he asked me what I was going to do when I got out of school. And I told him that I was probably just going to get a criminal justice degree like my dad. And he just kind of shook his head and he's like, I don't know about that. He was like, you're here in the theater every night till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, building sets, hanging lights, PA systems going in, whatever needs to happen. And he handed me a brochure to Full Sail. And he said, I just learned about this school. I think you ought to check it out. And I walked into Studio A for the tour, and that was it. I was just like, oh man, this is real. People actually do this. When I was younger, one of the things that I started doing is taking a look at all of the people that I was working with, and I was, okay, who is living better? And I don't mean financially, like who's driving the nicer car or anything like that, just in general, who seems to be happier and stuff like that when they show up to work. And it seemed like overwhelmingly, the common denominator is always community. Stickman Sound is a company that provides audio services. We mentor people, we sell equipment, we rent equipment, we offer advice. We're a community. When you have a high sense of community and you're not selfish with information and stuff like that, the stronger our community is, the better the work we put out as a community, the better we look, the more work it's gonna bring into our community, and it, turns into this like very organic cycle. Las Vegas has a very large and pretty fantastic production community. It takes a little while to get in, but the thing that was really cool, I think, is once, especially the sound community in Las Vegas, once they saw that I was serious and that I wasn't going anywhere, it was like getting accepted into a family. I've worked on Top Chef, I've worked on Project Runway, I did a season of The Apprentice, and I did a season of Hell's Kitchen. And I was having a good time, but I think you have to work to get there. There's a lot of competition. But what ends up happening is the people that are serious, they show up 15 minutes early and they're always the last people to leave. And I call that grit. You sleep for just a couple hours because you can't wait to get back. And that's what it was for me.
To induct Fernando Delgado, please welcome to stage his dear friend and instructor of theater technology at Las Vegas Academy of Arts, John Morris.
I've been teaching for a while, and so I've had the opportunity to visit a lot of universities over the last several years. But I have never visited one where I have felt like family from the minute I walked onto campus. And I just want to thank everybody for their marvelous hospitality here. I think I have the infection now, so. I am here to speak about my good friend, Fernando. I'm so honored to be here to induct him into this Hall of Fame. I recently read a feature article entitled 10 Traits of Highly Successful Men. It was written by Kylie Alderink. And he lists and discusses those qualities that make a truly successful man. Now, I wasn't given enough time to compare and contrast Fernando to all 10 of these things, although I could. But there were 5 on the list that stood out to me as I considered what I was going to say about Fernando tonight. Be a force of nature. Confidence is key. Surround yourself with the best people. Invest in humanity, and above all, enjoy life. Fernando is a force of nature. He works hard and pretty smart. And you know he's the boss at Stickman Sound without that company, of course, that he founded and now operates, without him having to be a bit bossy. He exudes a confidence that isn't showy, but so genuine you can't help but feel better after basking in it for a moment. He has surrounded himself with great people. They are the most important to him. And he has very little patience for those that will not bring out the best in him or his crew. For example, not long ago, he took one of my recent graduates on the set as an intern. It was another chance for him to open some doors for a young person who was eager and ready to learn and grow. The gig was for one of his biggest clients, at least the butter on the bread of Stickman. Unfortunately, she was not treated well. Of course, Fernando confronted this bad behavior, and it was suggested to him that she merely be reassigned to another department, a place where she would be out of sight and out of mind. There was no attempt to make it right. So Fernando walked away with all his gear, all of his toys, and all of his people. I'm certain this hurt his bottom line. But that line wasn't nearly as important to Fernando as the line that was crossed by his client. So there, my hero. Fernando is instinctively good at investing in humanity. I see him invest in those people that surround him every day. I see his unfettered affection and commitment to his terrific wife, Juliana, his 2 great kids, Julian and Vincent, who have become a part of my life. I'm so proud to be namesake of a scholarship that he has established at Las Vegas Academy of the Arts, but it's not just the money. It's his commitment and his investment into the experiences and successes of these same students. Saul Swade spent some time with me, talking to me. His friend and protege sent me a heartfelt tribute. I'm going to share some of that with you tonight. He says, "I owe everything to Fern. He showed me how diverse the profession can be and how to remain versatile within it. He never seems afraid to take a chance. Through that, I've learned how to trust my instincts, whether he's designing a system that best captures the dynamics of an actor's emotional dialogue or the power and fury of a rocket launching into space. He's always willing to experiment a bit. It's about calculated risk, giving yourself the highest odds for success, but remaining open to failure, and if things don't go as planned, because they rarely do, learn from it. In the end, it's all about results above ego. He understands that there is no threat to his career in helping others. He knows you'll end up making your own decisions once you're in the hot seat anyway, so where's the risk? Knowledge should be shared." Man, thank you, Saul. Thank you so much. More than anything else, Fernando has a joie de vivre. He genuinely loves his life. His Facebook posts are usually panoramic pictures of his office of the day, which could be anywhere in the world. Soon into space, probably even. Or sunrise over his backyard. Or some other simple thing over which he marvels in the moment. The beauty of the earth, the joy of the work, his love for those people in his life. I know that I'm a better teacher, person, and member of my community because I know and love this man. Therefore, it is one of my greatest pleasures and greatest privileges of my life to induct Fernando Delgado into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame. I love you, man.
Hello, Full Sail! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hello, everybody. Wow. Okay, so what an incredible week this has been. I didn't really prepare a speech because that's how I roll. So I want to tell you guys just really quickly a quick little story that helps put everything that has happened over the last week and last few years for me in perspective. As you all know, I work in the TV business. I make TV shows for a living, and that's amazing. But sometimes in our life, we get complacent, things get, I don't want to say boring, but I guess typical. We feel entitled, or we feel like we deserve something more because we've put in the time or we've paid our dues or whatever. So, not that many years ago, I'm having a bad day at work. I'm just getting ground into the ground by one of my producers, or at least I thought so at the time. Couldn't tell you what I was working on. I couldn't tell you what the producer's name was. Couldn't tell you even the faces or anybody that was involved. But this one person in particular was really getting under my skin. And so on my lunch break, I called my amazing wife, Juliana. And for about 10 minutes, I sat there and I griped and I bitched and I moaned about this person and why do I even do this, right? So she gave me my time to get it all out and vent. And so when I was done, I took a breath and I said, "How's your day?" She says, she's a nurse. She says, "I'm helping my patient die right now." And I knew what kind of days she had at work. I knew the kind of stuff that she did. I was fully aware of the types of days that she had in her office. But what happened is I realized that I had lost perspective on my office. I worked very hard to put those pictures up on, this is my office and I get to travel all over the world. And the best thing about making TV shows is I get to go places and meet people that other people only ever get to see on television. It's an amazing life. But for that moment, I had forgotten all about that. Since then, every time somebody gets under my skin, every time I have a hard day, every time I think that maybe I don't want to do this, I think about that one quick moment, right? I'm helping my patient die right now. So with that, I would like to thank my wife, Juliana, for giving me perspective in my life and helping me keep my feet on the ground while I have my head in the clouds. I'd like to thank my parents for teaching me about grit and how to work hard and how to love. I'd like to thank Full Sail for the amazing culture that you guys have here. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Lynn and a lot of the teachers and directors that have been here for 20 years. They're the reason we originally come back to the school. They're one of the reasons we continue to come back. So thank you very much for that. This is very important to me. Thank you very much.
The journey that each graduate embarks upon will consistently evolve along with technology. Even better, much like myself and our next inductee, that journey can carry you all around the world.
It's like those romantic stories of like, here's the album that like, oh, I remember being handed that album at 15. And for me, it was Darren Aronofsky, Requiem for a Dream, Pi, Tarantino, and they blew my mind. At the same time, I had a completely separate group of friends that were getting into skateboarding. And then I watched one particular video, Rodney Mullen versus Day One Song Round 2, Rodney's part. And my stuff looks nothing like that, but that one video at the right time of my life, being super interested in filmmaking, all of a sudden, that kind of just totally catapulted my life that direction. So my time was me skating all day and then filming my friends any chance I got. My brother was getting into broadcast and basic editing. He had a teacher in high school that he shared that with, and I happened to just walk into that room one day. He happened to pull up, "You ever heard of this school?" And it was Full Sail. And then literally, fast forward only a few months later, I was signed up to go to Full Sail. There was a degree program that had web design, had a little bit of video, had motion graphics, After Effects. I didn't have this nailed down idea of what I wanted in life, but I had all these interests. And digital art and design, especially at the time, was such a, you get to try everything. The reason I got the job with Cully is because one of my teachers, Mac Bertan, showed Cully a video that I made like on my own. Like I would just go back to Chicago on like Christmas break and I would film my friends. And he showed him one of the videos I made during that time. Cully called me up in the lab and we had a funny hangout one time. You know, I didn't apply for a job. And it's those kind of moments that will change your life. It's interesting, a lot of people don't know they follow my YouTube channel. It's very skateboard centric. And it's interesting the questions I get of like, do you ever think that you would go into commercial work or documentary or this? And I'm like, that's actually usually how I pay my bills. It's such a strange diversity of commercial work. I've done a ton of work with Mercedes. I've done music videos for Warner Brothers. I do documentary work. I love shooting documentary work. I just have a short attention span apparently. And so it's cool that I get to work on these strange projects because no month is like the next one. The skate stuff is very close to my heart and it's what I would do even if no money was ever involved. When kids email me saying I started skateboarding because of you, I started filmmaking because of you, that's heavy. Like, my life would not be the same without a skateboard or without a camera, and the idea that something I did can start a possible lifetime journey for somebody, that's crazy, and that's exciting, and that's the beauty of living in, like, the online world, is you have this reach to make a change in somebody's life that even if it's just that one person, man, to have that connection with that one person, that's so cool. That's just one more person I get to geek out with.
Please welcome 2011 Hall of Fame inductee, owner of Scully FX, Cully Bunker, and multimedia TV production instructor at Technology Center of DuPage in Illinois, Jeff Heisey.
Wow, what a rush. I can't believe I'm up here inducting Brett Novak into the Hall of Fame. 10 years ago, or so, I came back to Full Sail, and I was looking for possible interns. And one of my old teachers called me up and said, got this guy that might be interested in. So I met with Brett Novak, and you know, his passion and his drive were undistinguishable. So he came out to California and had a short stint with me, and it was a great time, but Brett had a different vision for himself, and skateboarding was his passion. And I wrote a bunch of stuff down here, but I'm just gonna try to do this from the heart. So, he left me very briefly, but traveled his own road, used social media and YouTube for his passion in skateboarding, and made a brand for himself. And through that, carved a direction nobody else had. Maybe I should read some of this now because I'm gonna get lost. And I prepared this just last night because I get a little nervous, but I wanted to make sure I had something written down just in case that just happened. Take your dreams seriously. Such a profound statement, but such simplicity. I mean, who really takes dreams seriously? They're just dreams. But Brett Novak is a dreamer. He's the ultimate result of that statement, pure and simple. He took his passion, mixed it with education, excellence, and time, with some trial and error, and a few broken bones. His unique shooting style and use of skateboarding single-handedly changed the way skateboarding videos were made. No one has exemplified Full Sail's mantra more. Follow your passion, live your dreams, and take them seriously. And in time, the world will see that they take them seriously as well. I am proud to think that I have helped Brett on his journey, and I'd like to think I'm maybe a little responsible, but that wouldn't really be true. I think Brett would have found his way with or without anybody, and his passion would have led him there. I'm just glad to have been his friend, and I'm proud of him today. And in the words of my hero, Gary Jones, I love you, buddy.
So I was Brett's high school teacher, and I've got stories. He actually asked me to share one of them with you. He started with me his junior year over at the Technology Center of DuPage, which is a career and technical education high school. Even then, Brett knew what he wanted to do. He just, I don't think, knew what that looked like yet. For one of his projects in my class, he was to make a short movie. And he comes to me and says, "Man, I want to do a skateboard video." I'm like, "Skateboard video? That means my cameras are going to be on a skateboard?" Knowing I love to give students the freedom to work on the projects that's close to their heart, I'm like, "Man, that's awesome." I said, "Just make sure that you're going to shoot a movie, and as long as it meets the requirements of the project, man, you're in." And Brett, be careful with my camera. So Brett did his pre-production. He did his storyboarding and the budget and all that stuff that we have to do to learn how to make a movie. And then he goes out shooting, and after the first night of shooting, comes back and says, "Hey, what do you think of my shots?" Looked at him, and I'm like, "Well, camera composition's awesome, Brett, and just your creativity is outstanding. What weird angles, man, that's awesome. But you need to go reshoot it." "Why is that?" You need to use lights." He asked me to share that story. He went back to reshoot that. He later submitted that video to Skills USA, which is the career and technical education outlet for a state competition for all the career and technical education schools and the classes at normal schools that are teach that way. He took first place in the state for that creative video. I still have his picture at our school, however many years ago that was, a lot of years ago. Brett became the kid in class that people would stand behind and go, "Man, that's cool. How'd you do that?" And Brett would just simply say, like he still does, "Thanks, man. This is how I did it." He became a leader in the class. He learned leadership, and he learned how to work like a professional. He learned how to think like a professional. He learned how to realize that everything that he did, he had to be working with excellence. And he was able to pick a career and pick a job. After high school, he started working for Empire Carpets. And he was not as an installer, by the way. He was doing flash animations for Empire Carpets and their web development team and stuff like that. And next thing I knew, he had quit his job at Empire Carpets and started going to this place, Full Sail University. What an amazing facility this is. It's my first time down here. And it was time for Brett to pursue his passions and pursue a career as opposed to getting one. And I just think that was such a neat thing, because the next thing I knew, I started getting links to videos. "Hey, Heisey, check this new video out. What do you think?" Mercedes-Benz, Lady Gaga. I went to the movie theater, Brett, Novak, Act of Valor, and a lot of amazing other things that he had done. It's his passion for skateboarding, however, has been a big part of his life. And now, here he is we have the option, we now, his audience, have the opportunity to experience cities, culture, people, and the places that someday only some of us will hope to go. And for that, we all know that Brett has pursued his career, and now here we are back at Full Sail University with this amazing time, with some amazing people that have done amazing things. So,
now,
let's do it, man.
All right.
It is our honor to induct Brett Novak into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
Now you do it.
I'm down here. Before I start the inevitable indulgent few minutes, self-indulgent few minutes, let me check my Instagram. No, because you should always put your notes on your phone when doing a talk. It's my mom's birthday tomorrow. And I was just wondering, not a whole song by any means, but just a quick happy birthday, Brett's mom. Can we do 3, 2, 1? Happy birthday, Brett's mom. Yeah, you. Hi. That's it. Go back. I'm wearing a suit. That's really the gift for seeing me in a suit. This is crazy. Some of the best, simplest advice I got early in my career from a producer, and kind of when I first started off into the skateboard aspect, when I left visual effects and started traveling the world filming skateboarding, was that art is essentially about people. At the end of the day, no matter if it's music, literature, all of the above, it's essentially a conversation between two humans trying to express something, which I thought was a total oversimplification and totally one-dimensional and kind of lame advice. But then, after enough time of really understanding what that meant truly, I understood that it is exactly at the simplification of understanding that everything we do, every part of this process, it's literally just attempting to translate a feeling that's in here. And how do you put that feeling, this weird intangible feeling, into somebody else's head? Skateboarding is very special to me, as is a lot of other hobbies and fun things that I'm sure they don't want to talk about. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the subject is, whether it's music, whether it's, like I said, playing the piano is such a therapeutic process for plenty of people. Baseball, watching TV, quite honestly, it literally doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's essentially, like I said, transferring what I get out of what I happen to want to film, and how do I present that to you? And how do I make you feel what I feel and understand that this is all something we're kind of experiencing together? In the past 7.5 years, I've traveled to over 30 countries, filmed in 25 of them. And skateboarding has been a very fortunate tool I've been able to carry around with me, breaking down barriers. When I come back from India and people are watching videos of Killian Martin, a Spanish skateboarder, skating in a temple, and people go, they let you do that? Well, they don't think like we do, because nobody thinks like other people do in the world. It's just different everywhere. So for them, it was a curiosity. Oh, come in here. I mean, you gotta take your shoes off, but come in here. Bring in your skateboard. Show me what that is. In the same token, as awesome and cool as looking at these careers as a representation of ourselves, don't get confused that a job is who you are. It's simply just a representation of a life well lived. I mean, this kind of stuff is awesome, and it's flattering, and it's great to have your ego stroked once in a while, and I'm honored to be among people that are being inducted tonight and the people that have been inducted in the past. But at the end of the day, it's just a symbol of my attempt to do something sometimes financially viable and sometimes not, but something that's gonna give me gratification in my day-to-day. Eat the dinner, not the menu. Don't get the two confused. I've had a lot of people, thank you. I've had all of us have. I've had a lot of people in my life that have been a massive part of making this possible. My family, Mom, Dad, Nicole, my brother and sister, Nicole and Adam, for humoring my strange obsessions as I was younger and helping me harvest them as I grew into my adult years, accepting the phone call of I'm quitting my dream job so I can have no money for the next year, as I'm getting the look from my dad now. For Carrie, for being an incredible addition to my life that I never knew that I could have. It's been a strange journey, and it's one I don't know if I deserve, but it's been incredible, and I'm happy you're my best friend. For my closest friends back home, Swanson, Eric, Varzino, these are people who worked at movie theaters and allowed me to sneak in through the back way and watch copious amounts of films that I let seep into my brain quite a bit. My friend Eric, who is actually in a lot of those old videos that they were showing here, who's been a wonderful addition in sharing the creative obsession and helped me along the way. And my friend Mike Varzino is the one who introduced me to skateboarding, essentially pulling me out of whatever weird, awkward, depressive teen years that a lot of us, most of us have. It was my transition into understanding what I could spend my day feeling fulfilled. For Jeff Heisey, who taught me how to be professional and took the place of that spot of like when your parents tell you advice that's super legit and you totally go, yeah, I don't really get it. But then to hear it from some other person in your life, and you're like, that makes much more sense. Heisey has been an incredible friend through the entire journey. For Mac Rutan, who is in the audience as well, and he, unbelievable effect on my years here at Full Sail for instilling an enthusiasm for other people's work and a way that you can look at a student's dream and go, that's incredible, totally do that. I'll show you how to build a robot to somehow make it happen. And he's also one who introduced me to Cully. And Cully, I can't thank enough and enough and enough. He gave me the opportunity of a lifetime on kind of a whim. I met him one night and we just clicked, which is a huge part of this business in general. When you find people that you like to spend your time with, and he offered me the opportunity of a lifetime, and it was a short one, but he continued to bring me on for freelance work, and quite honestly, much more importantly, a friend and one of my biggest cheerleaders in my life. I would not have the relationship with Full Sail that I have if it wasn't for him. Constantly putting as when somebody said to me in this week, well, if you know Cully Bunker, you know Brett Novak because he won't shut up about you. Which I like that in a person. And finally, Jacob Rosenberg, who is one of my old bosses back in Los Angeles, for being the mentor in my 20s that I needed, and for helping me break down the ego that I didn't know I had and helping me build it up into a much better human being. Students, I would implore that you not forget the feeling that is right now when you're graduating, that feeling of I'm about to take on the world and it's all right there, because as your experience and your career will shift and wane and roller coasters, it totally will. Don't fall into the trap that is there's something fundamentally different now than when I graduated, or that the world isn't quite conducive in the same way to help me accomplish my dreams. It's not that conducive for everybody a lot of the time. And the reality is, it's like, don't fall in the trap of this generation. Forget that. That's rhetoric. Don't forget the people who are telling you that your generation something, 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 their parents told them the same thing, and their parents' parents told them the same thing. Nostalgia is a powerful drug. The real learning lesson to the feeling of taking on the world is that it's not that it's changed, it's that you changed and realize that that was never actually the goal to begin with. It's finding out what you have to contribute to the world. Your favorite heroes and artists are people that overcame something, whether it be internal struggle or external situations. A steady, easy life is essentially a boring tale. Nobody's really that interested. Embrace and enjoy the struggle. And finally, when I went into the film industry, I realized that between that and a place like Los Angeles, there's a bipolar kind of reaction people have with it. It's a marvelous place, it's incredible, the film industry is magical, but also the people that try to make it work in their lives, that have a long time struggling, it's a whole lot of grow up, get a real job, you're holding onto this dream, and a place like the film industry, or Los Angeles in my own experience, was, well, you know what? If you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to try, we can't promise you anything, but we will support you. We will be there in some kind of weird, you're gonna wake up and be surrounded by people of your peers going through the same struggle, and that's really what it's like about in life. And that's coming back to Full Sail, what I remember, what I grew so much out of. You're gonna struggle, you're gonna have horrible days here, but to have a community of people around you that support you and say, this sucks, but I couldn't imagine doing it any other way, and to have that allow you to flourish and realize the person that you are deep down inside. I thank Full Sail and people such as yourself for helping me do that for myself. I love you all. Thank you.
In addition to our Hall of Fame members that return to celebrate and welcome these new 6 members tonight, many other graduates, quite a number of other graduates, return to the campus this week to continue the legacy of giving back to those students coming behind them. Could I have all the graduates stand that return to help deliver great frontline information to the student body of Full Sail? Could you please stand? Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you all so much. Thank you for giving back. Some of you driving on University Boulevard may have seen a giant monarch mural on the front of one of our University Boulevard facing buildings, and you may be scratching your head saying, what's all the monarchs in the parking lot and stuff? That is the beginning. That's a teaser for an initiative that came out of one of Full Sail's Navigator School graduating classes and their thesis project. It is an effort to call attention on a community-wide basis to the need for all of us to be better stewards and responsible stewards of the environment upon which all life depends for sustenance, including that web of life includes pollinators that empower the vegetables and fruits that we all depend upon as humans for our diets and for our sustenance. So the monarch is simply a placeholder or a poster child, if you will, for a greater initiative that reaches out to the hearts of all to say, hey, let's all pay more attention to protecting the waters and the lands that everything depends upon. When Full Sail got involved with an organization called the Nature Conservancy on this project, the largest environmental organization on planet Earth, we partnered with Disney, with Inkdwell, and we started this idea that emanated into a community-wide effort. We said, wouldn't it be great if it wasn't just Full Sail University that championed this cause? One of the first early adopters that said, this is noble and this needs to be pointed out, was our own Mayor Steve Leary. When I called him and talked to him about it, he said, the city of Winter Park not just will, but we will gladly partner with you in something this important. And in essence, he said, the keys to the city are yours for making this thing go far, go community-wide. Mayor Leary, thank you for your leadership and for standing up and being a part of this great initiative. Thank you so much. Spinning off of that call, Mayor Dyer said, we're in, the city of Orlando's in, University of Central Florida said, yes, we want to stand with you. Rollins College said yes, Valencia College said yes. We now have elementary schools, we have retailers, we have restaurants that are all saying, yes, we want to be a part. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This spring, in early April, stay tuned, and we'll be launching a community-wide initiative with civic, educators, and businesses all involved. So thanks to all who participate and are making that happen. Would love to thank the sponsors for Hall of Fame now. Thank you so much to the companies. You'll see them on the screens right now as I'm mentioning this. This Hall of Fame every year is better and more wonderful because of our friends and partners in industry, and we thank you, all the sponsors that are seen. A special shout out to Sony. Katsunori is here, the president of the professional group for the Americas tonight. He and his team have been allied with Full Sail for decades, not just years, providing great, just off the assembly line, fresh out of the designer box products for our students to get their paws on and use in their labs and work with to be early adopters here at Full Sail University. Sony has always believed in education, and thank you, Katsunori, for what you do. I don't know where you are, but could you stand, please? Thank you so much, good brother. Thank you to you and all of your associates. We appreciate you. This organization has about 2,300 incredible faculty and staff members that humble me on a daily basis as they give back to our students, educate our students, and care about our students' dreams. They're my heroes. Their good work is what makes this place, the heartbeat of this place, so loud and so noticeable to everybody who comes by. We 2,300 believers, dream supporters, couldn't do the work we did without a strong and committed board of directors that not just stands with us, but leads us in helping to make this campus a glowing symbol of emerging technology that welcomes new ideas to better the student experience and champions alongside of the 2,300 of us everything that we believe is necessary for Full Sail to stay the class leader in education for emerging technologies, for entertainment media, and for entertainment. Would you please give a really supportive and wonderful round of applause for John Phelps, Ed Haddock, and Bill Hebner. Would you stand, gentlemen? There you are. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for believing in our students. And thank you for doing what most boards of directors miss, and that's keeping the heartbeat here alive. We love you. Do we love them? We love them. Thank you, guys. It's a privilege to serve with you. Over the past year, the Full Sail studios have been humming. Not with feedback, but with good music. And one of those great musicians that have been in our studios working on his new and latest album called The Bloody Win is a multi-Grammy winning artist, already a multi-Grammy winning artist, and an award-winning gospel singer, writer, all-around great guy. His name is Ty Tribbett, and he is destined for more greatness with this latest record. The Full Sail production team that worked with Ty on this new album, The Bloody Win, consisted of Brandon Edgerton, Darren Schneider, and Charlie Webb. Come on up here, good buddies. Come on out. So these are the guys that led the charge at Full Sail in the production of this record. And also, just back from the Jimmy Fallon show, as a guest, Ty Tribbett himself is here. So fresh off the stage of the Jimmy Fallon show, please welcome Ty Tribbett. Good to have you.
Oh, here or here?
Anywhere you want, brother.
Here or here? Okay. How you guys doing? Everybody doing okay? All right. God is so good, and He's blessed us with another fresh year, 2018. Anybody excited about 2018? You should be. There are a lot of great things in store for all of us. I want to thank Gary. I want to thank Brandon, Darren, and Charlie for all you Full Sail, everybody here for making my latest project just a huge success, and we've topped the charts on so many different categories, and I'm excited, as well as you should be. So to commemorate what has happened through this wonderful university, I would like to present you guys with a plaque. If you can bring it on up here. Yes, Billboard plaque here for our number ones. To you at Full Sail, and to you, Gary, to you, Brandon, Darren, and Charlie, thank you so much. Can we make some noise? Please, raise it up.
Thank you, Ty. Would you guys be interested in hearing a cut from that record? Can you do that?
Sure. You guys don't mind me getting a little loud, do you?
No, we don't mind.
All right, let's try. Let's bring some singers out here. Let's see if we can do this. This song is called Work It Out. It's a little... I hear you in the back. Yeah, keep your screams up, keep your energy up. We're going to encourage you tonight. No matter what you're facing, God's already worked it out. Yeah. Yeah. You ready over here? Yeah. I see you. The song is real simple, but God's going to work it out. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ha. Doesn't matter what the problem. God will work it out. Yeah, any type of situation, He will work it out. Yeah, I don't have no doubt. God will work it out. Work it out. Work it out. What you say? Work it out. Yeah. When the spring, summer, fall, trouble keep coming out nowhere. Doesn't have respect at all. Somebody going through it somewhere. Wonder what you're gonna do. Wonder if you're gonna make it. Wonder how long it'll take and when you ever get through. Can't see the light of day nowhere. The enemy try to make you feel like pain will be always. But you know, like I know, that trouble will never last. Yeah. So hold your head up high. God is on your side, and He loves you, and He cares. He's so faithful. Doesn't matter what the problem. God will work it out. Yeah. Any type of situation, He will work it out. Yeah. Tell me He got all power. God will work it out. Work it out. Work it. Come on, work it. I see you. Work it. Yeah. Seem like everybody else doing so much better than you. Faith's got it all together, and you just trying to get through. You don't see no results. Not laughing. This is not a joke. 'Cause I'm telling you, if God don't come through something soon, I might just, I don't know. The enemy try to make you feel like this will be but you know deep down that you gotta come out of this. Yeah. Over here, hold your head up high. I see y'all. Over here, God is on your side. Yeah. In the middle, where you at? Huh? Hold your head up high. I see y'all. God is on your side, and He loves you, and He cares. Everybody wave your hands like this. Hey, doesn't matter what the problem. God will work it. Put your hands up anytime. Situation, He will work it. I see you. Nothing too hard for God. Work it. Work it. Whoa. Work it. Take it down now, P. Dismay. Whatever betide, God will take care of you. God will take care of you. God bless you, Full Sail. We love you. I believe without a doubt that my God will surely. Yeah, I see you on your feet. He done brought me out before, so Make some noise, everybody, for Jesus! God bless you. Thank you for the love. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome, 2012 Hall of Fame inductee with more than 25 years touring the world as a lighting designer, Susan Rose.
Well, tour buses, backstage areas, front of house, and production areas like this are my home away from home all around the world. And as you can see with our next inductee, he is certainly no stranger to life on the road.
I had been playing at church and all that kind of stuff growing up, but high school is when it finally clicked. I was listening to a Jill Scott record. That record was so great to me, and I was like, I want to make music for the rest of my life. My time in Full Sail, I learned so much because I didn't know what engineering was completely. My thought process was, I'm learning this to make my music production sound better so I don't have to hire somebody else to do it. But then I got good at it, so then people would hire me to do it. I ended up at Flight Time after Grammy Camp. We took the kids to a bunch of different studios in LA, and we ended up taking them to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis's studio. And so the studio manager was talking to me while we were waiting for Jimmy and Terry. And she was like, what do you do when you're not, she called it babysitting the kids. And I was like, oh, I'm a producer, engineer, blah, blah, blah. She was like, oh, we're looking for a producer, engineer. And I was like, well, here I am. And so we exchanged information, and that following February, randomly got a call, and she was like, meet me at this address at this time. I had no idea what it was. Ended up being 50th Grammy rehearsals with The Time and Rihanna. And that was almost my introduction to live, because I walked in and they were like, we need you to do Pro Tools edits, we need you to tech, we need you to, I ended up doing monitors, like got thrown into the fire and had no clue what I was doing. But they didn't know that. So the guys told the studio manager, like, we really like this guy. Let's try him out for a session. So turned around the next week and did a Ruben Studdard session for American Idol. And the guys grabbed me from there. And so I ended up staying there about 2 or 3 years. And that was one of the most amazing experiences ever. Just me in general, I like to stay in touch with people, like good people. That goes for studio and live. People I don't work with anymore, I'll shoot them a text every once in a while just to check in with them. I don't want anything, just seeing how you're doing. And that keeps you kind of fresh in their mind as well. So I always get a call for work randomly. I ended up with Bruno Mars through somebody I met at Grammy Camp. We stayed in touch over the years, and we were having a Mariah rehearsal for South America, and the tour ended up getting canceled. But next door, Bruno was rehearsing, and I saw their road cases, and I was like, oh man, Andy's here. So I hit him up just to say hey, because I hadn't seen him in a couple years. And we ended up talking in the parking lot, and he was like, hey man, we're looking for a keyboard tech for this tour that's coming up. Would you be interested? And I was like, absolutely. So again, relationships. I tell the new grads and students, don't be closed-minded. All these opportunities have come because I'm open to them. Never thought I'd be stage managing anything ever. I thought I would be a studio rat forever. And all these opportunities have presented themselves because I was open to trying new things and just stretching my wings as far as they can go. And I still don't know if this is it, or am I gonna end up somewhere else doing some more crazy stuff that's completely unexpected.
Please welcome a 38-year veteran of the audio industry, author, designer, consultant, and technical director for the estate of legendary jazz musician Miles Davis, Grammy-winning engineer Dave Hampton.
How you guys doing this evening? This is incredible. First of all, I want to say thanks to the whole entire Full Sail family. Gary, you throw a great party. And you guys make me want to go back to school. So don't be surprised if I come back and I'm sitting in the classroom. Tremaine, you know, I've got to say that being considered a mentor is really huge for me, kind of at this season of my life. I've been around for a little while. I'm not old, I'm vintage. So it's good to see you doing what you're doing. I remember when I first met you in the halls of Flight Time Studios. You know, I was impressed by the way you took care of the equipment. I watch engineers and how they handle the equipment, how they care for it. You know, I was especially impressed by the way you kind of understood where you were. To be with Jam and Lewis is not something everybody can land at. And so you understood the legacy brand that you were being given access to, and you had plenty of awareness about who you were and the artists you were working with, you know. And as we got to know one another, I said to you something I say to a lot of kids that I see. I said, you know, if you ever need me, call me, and I'll be there for advice or whatever you might need. And of course, you called me day and night, whatever time. 2 o'clock in the morning, from halfway around the world. First about technical questions, then it was about gear, and finally those calls started coming that I knew would, about advice on situations in business and how to read people. Most of this game, you will find, is about reading people. So I'm glad you used me as a resource. Part of my journey is to make sure that your journey and others is a lot easier. So I appreciate you considering me a mentor. It's been a pleasure to observe your career to this point. You know, the artists that you all work with, Tremaine, they all trust you and they want you close by. So just by applying what you've learned here at Full Sail, you've established your own personal brand of excellence. And that's not an easy thing to do. Trust is something that's highly valued, especially when you're with artists. Art and what we do, especially with our modern day masters, is something that's so important. It's some of the loneliest people in the world. And they need people they can trust. So the award today is one of many milestones on your journey. And then after meeting your mom, I can honestly say that you are truly blessed, brother. Okay, your mom gave you not only good sense, but she gave you God sense. So you have a mother who listened to you, and she held your vision for your future in her heart. So you need to thank her every day of the week, and for your mom, you've invested in an IRA program that's very well. You can look at him and know that you're gonna be all right. This week I also met your Full Sail family. And now I understand how your preparation you got here gave you the opportunity to meet me in that studio that day. The gift of service that all of us have as engineers is what makes our profession very special. So in the words of our good friend Ed Cherney, as engineers, we're here to serve the songs. Always remember that. So it's my honor to induct Tremaine Williams into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
My shoes are fire, I can't lie. This is gonna be quick. I don't do speeches. I just want to acknowledge the people that helped me get here. Dave, you've saved my life so many times. Sometimes I won't know I'm able to do a job. Call this dude, he's like, man, you got this. Pretty much every time, actually. Yeah, so every time I get thrown in these crazy situations on the road and all this stuff, he's usually the call. Him, my manager, Monica, who couldn't make it. I want to thank God, of course. My family, the Talberts, my aunt, Janice, who sends me, I'm 33, she still sends me a care package for every holiday. Which is candy, gift cards, and toothpaste so I don't get cavities. So I'm looking for my Valentine's Day package, it's cool. My Uncle Butch, who gave me the opportunity to move and has done numerous things for me. He's not here, but J.R. Newkirk, he was my roommate. I've known him since I was 5 or 6, and And then we ended up coming down here, going to school together. JR's on the road. He's worked with everyone imaginable. Hopefully, he'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. All my friends, Kent, Tiff, Heather, Ephraim, Mike, who did my shoes. I call on them also when I'm freaking out to vent, and they're always there for me. My Hall of Fame family, you guys are awesome. Sebastian, who introduced me back into the family. And then my first time back, Leslie, Joey, Jack, and Larry all just took me in. And from there, I'm looking forward to getting to know all the rest of you guys. My tour fam, Bruno, the Hooligans, everybody at Mariah. Thank you, Mariah, for paying my rent. My mother thanks you that she doesn't have to help pay my rent anymore, because that was a process. And my mom, who's been everything. And that's pretty much it. I didn't cry, so whoever was doing that bet, I got choked up, but I didn't cry, no tears. Thank you, guys.
Please welcome 2012 Hall of Fame inductee, mix engineer, Marcella Areca.
Hi, everybody. I thought it would be a fun time for you guys to actually get a behind-the-scenes look of what all the inductees are doing behind the scenes with taking their official Hall of Fame photo. So, there goes Tremaine. Hey, Tremaine. Well, while he's striking his best pose, why don't we introduce the next inductee?
My family has always been in some form of photography or videography. My grandfather was taking 8mm films of his family. We were always sitting around the TV, watching his videos, critiquing his videos. I was really fortunate that my dad is a photographer by passion, and he took me under his wing and just taught me everything. And when he decided to learn Avid and editing while I was still in high school, I got to just learn along the way with him. And that opened a lot of doors to take something that I love to watch and learn how to make it interesting and how to play with it. I was working in New York as a post-production PA, and I was doing a lot of vlogging and a lot of incredible stuff. Worked with HBO boxing, got to work on the Women's World Cup, but I was kind of stuck, and I hit that glass ceiling where I thought that was all I could do. Finding a place like Full Sail to empower me and inspire me and get that confidence helped me move up. And while I didn't go back and work for them, there's always opportunities when you keep good relationships. And it's amazing that they were able to see me go from someone who was just entry level and trying to figure things out to saying, this is the decision that I'm making and I'm confident about the decision that I'm making. My work with the Orlando Film Commission completely came from my volunteership with Women in Film and Television Florida. I started to volunteer on that board, became one of their first junior board members, and got to know the group. My close relationship with Jen Pennypacker at the Film Commission through Women in Film and Television absolutely cemented my love for the work that they did. I hadn't known what film commissions did at the time. So when I got to learn that maybe I could use some of my volunteership and service to the community that I grew up with, combined with my passion for entertainment, it seemed like a dream come true. But I learned people don't leave these jobs, and there's very few positions in it around the world. And so there's not a lot of opportunities. Jen found an opportunity she wanted to go pursue, and there had been an opening at the Orlando Film Commission right at that time. And so she, worked hard to get me in for interviews and got me in, and I started as the coordinator for the department, doing all the permits and learning about all the locations and organizing everything. And I've had a lot of crazy fun projects that have come through, whether it's been trying to film a Chrysler commercial in the middle of the Winter Park Art Festival to working on Tomorrowland with Disney. We get to play this little part in bigger projects and help bring a story to life in our community. Orlando has this perception that it's a transition town, and you come here for something, but it's not for a lifetime. What I originally thought was going to be a quick 9-month program at Full Sail turned into working for the Orlando Economic Partnership, where I actually go out and share the story of this community that has built up artistry and music and business and a type of inclusion and collaboration that I haven't found in a lot of other communities. And I think that's what makes this place so special. And I don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
To induct Sheena, please welcome the Director of Event Services for SeaWorld Parks and Resorts Orlando, Jennifer Pennypacker.
Good evening. So I also don't do speeches, and I absolutely am going to cry because I was already doing that backstage. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for having me. This is such a big deal. So big of a deal that thank God they had rehearsals yesterday, and I realized it was such a big deal and allowed me not to sleep overnight because I got completely overwhelmed in giving this speech. But then I realized I'm not a great public speaker, but I also realized that I didn't need to be overwhelmed because this is family, and family is what brought me to this stage. I was fortunate to grow up in this business, so this is home for me. My dad started one of the first commercial production companies in Central Florida called Florida Film and Tape. And he was not able to be with us tonight because he's directing a commercial down in Miami. And my mom, who's also not able to be with us tonight because she's shining down on us and smiling, her Sarah Fuller smile, was a location manager in feature films, first AD, and one of the first female DGA members in the state of Florida. Now I gotta catch up. I was destined for a career in the production industry, which brings me to November 2nd, 2006. I was standing at a podium similar to this, addressing a crowd in my role as film commissioner for the Metro Orlando Film and Television Commission and president of Women in Film and Television Florida. Shortly after my speech, I noticed a group of students hanging around to come talk to me because I was the president and they wanted to network and see what they could do. They were waiting patiently, it took some time, and I noticed this girl with this infectious smile who was very eager to meet me. She came up and she introduced herself immediately, said, "Hi, I'm Sheena Carlisle." She was hungry for a career in the production industry and asked me how she could get involved. Seeing Sheena, I was reminded of all things my parents taught me. Be assertive, be passionate, and always remember, it's not what you know, but who you know in this business. I quickly pointed out some key players in the room, many of who are with us tonight to celebrate Sheena, and told Sheena and her friends that were also standing there to introduce themselves, to work this crowd and the amazing industry professionals that were at their disposal. And then I sat back and watched. Sheena did exactly what I said. She worked the room with old-fashioned eye contact and a handshake. I also watched her other friends, who went right to the bar and talked amongst themselves. They were given the same advice and the same opportunity. To no one's surprise, from that night, Sheena booked a national commercial spot. Also, to that no one's surprise, we didn't see those friends much more in the industry. A few months later, I was at the Florida Film Festival setting up for an event, and the first person to walk in the door as a volunteer was none other than Sheena. Her passion for the industry literally exuded from her. Her willingness to help in any capacity, and in this glamorous case was moving furniture, proved to me that she had it. She had the grit, she had the passion. I was inspired by her motivation to help her make her own production dreams come true. I simply helped her get the foot in the door. Her talent and genuine personality literally swung that door wide open. As she navigated her way through the commercial production scene for a few years, I kept my eye on her. Eventually, I was lucky enough to bring her to my team at the Metro Orlando Film and Television Commission. The years that we worked together were simply my favorite. There was nothing she couldn't do. From rerouting FAA flight patterns for Transformers 3 to shutting down I-4 through downtown for a national car commercial, Sheena was beyond amazing. And when I moved on to other career opportunities, there was no one better to take over the role of film commissioner. But the greatest gift I received the years we worked together was the amazing friendship we formed. I often tell my husband the greatest gift he gave me was my last name. Let's be honest, no one forgets Pennypacker. It's a real name, I'm not a cartoon character. Which brings us to 2007, when I had just finished a client meeting at White Wolf Cafe. I had just given my credit card to the waiter and was waiting for the bill, and out of the kitchen comes this guy running up to me, and I was a little startled. And he looked at me and he goes, Jen. I said, yes? He goes, I'm Jared Fowler, I'm Sheena's boyfriend. And I looked at him and I said, how did you know? He and I never met, obviously had heard about each other. I said, how did you know this was me? I'm sitting at a table. And he goes, oh no, the waitstaff is in the back laughing at your name on the credit card. And I grabbed it and said, wait, I know her, I need to go meet her. So from 2 introductions, my life was completely changed. Now, we do this thing called life together. Weddings, hurricanes, sunsets, and kids. This is what we do. This is who we are. This is family. On behalf of Jared, her beautiful children, Miles and Ellie, who are being amazing in this audience, her parents, and all her friends and family who are here today, it is my unbelievable honor to induct Sheena Fowler into the Full Sail Hall of Fame.
Hi. Wow. Hi. This is really cool. I came to Full Sail for confidence, and what I walked away with was a family. I started talking to my instructors, to the faculty. I met Pat Bishop while working at a restaurant. She's become a dear friend I'll never forget. And now, to have this honor to join a group of people that didn't know me, and within seconds of learning that I was joining the Hall of Fame, all reached out, and all said hello, and all said words of confidence and wisdom, and that's exactly why I came here. I not only got the technical skills that I needed to advance my career, I found a group of people in a community that absolutely changed my life. And the fact that I now get to represent Orlando and the region and all of the innovation and collaboration that we have here is exceptional. The fact that I got to join and lead Women in Film and Television and be one of the few women that are in this club, and all of the incredible women that are in the Hall of Fame, thank you for everything that you've done. Y'all are amazing. I was so fortunate to grow up in a family that embraced the arts, that taught that as part of who we are, part of every moment that I take. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and I'm the one who's gonna cry, for making me watch those movies and for all the advice that I may or may not have listened to. I have actually told almost every class that I've spoken to something that you told me, Dad, document your work. I didn't listen, and you were right. You were so right. Thank you to Jen Pennypacker, who has absolutely changed my world. You've adopted me into your family, and you're on call for every second. Thank you to my dream team, my girls, you know where you are. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you to my incredible husband and my kids and my family. You guys listen to me. You have to hear every moment with me. And thank you to my incredible team. I've got so many family members from my Orlando Economic Partnership and the Orlando Film Commission who are here tonight. They didn't know what to expect when they met me and necessarily what a film commission was, but they've embraced me and they continue to empower me to take this place that we call Orlando and put it on the map as a place that's creative. And I want all of you students out here, I want you to know that you have a place here. You have a place to be creative, and you may venture off, you may go other places, and you may explore those dreams, but you too have an opportunity to come back and create here. And this school, this is the place. Full Sail University is the school that's going to empower you to do it. Take every moment that you have here. Don't stop creating. Your dreams are boundless, and we're here to support you. I'm here to support you, and I think together we're going to create something really, really special. Thank you.
Please welcome back Full Sail University President Gary Jones.
Awesome. 2 nights ago, another award is given out, the Industry Icon Award, the Full Sail University Industry Icon Award. Let me read to you what this award is all about. The Full Sail University Icon Award recognizes those individuals who have dedicated their lives to being innovators in entertainment, in media, and in the arts. These industry icons serve to inspire countless others along the way with a commitment to sharing their success for the benefit of those who wish to follow in the icon's footsteps. Furthermore, this award recognizes those who have truly given a wealth of heart and dedication to this university, to the faculty, to the staff, to the student body, and the graduates of Full Sail. Last year, we gave the first 2 Icon Awards. I'm very thrilled to have one of those award recipients in the audience with us tonight. The legendary Bruce Swedeen is here, who has been in studios recording Count Basie, Sarah Vaughan, Dizzy Gillespie, Michael Jackson, and J-Lo, just to name a few. Bruce, love you madly, brother Bruce Swedeen. You're amazing, and you're right back there. I can see you in the distance, brother. I love you madly, too. The other recipient last year was Mr. Alfred Schlesinger, a renowned entertainment business or music business attorney. And just both of those men, we here at Full Sail deeply love, admire, and just adore. So congrats again to them. Let's take a look at a video for this year's honoree.
The first time that I came to Full Sail would have been around 92 or 93. And it was nothing like it is today, which is, the incredible growth.
Don Wershba, as I recall, he had just about that time come into his role with Solid State Logic. We'd spoken to him a number of times at conventions and NAMM shows in different places where Solid State Logic had a booth. So by bumping into him and having these in-depth conversations with Don about our dreams and this vision for the campus of tomorrow, he believed in us at a time when it was critical for us to look and equip ourselves as who we felt like and how we operated academically. We just needed that to be a physical incarnation of ourselves, and he helped us get that done.
This was, a small-ish operation, but it was going to serve the purposes of the students. And I was just very impressed with the fact that it was a very focused program. Would I have ever dreamt it would grow into what it is today and what what everybody sees around today? I don't know, but it shows what commitment and hard work can do. I've been given a great deal of credit for working with Full Sail, but it didn't feel like work. It was, how are we going to solve this issue? We need to get a proper console into here. They wanted to have a premier solid state logic console in the program, which was important because that's what people worked on. And we just worked together, figured out how long it was going to take to build for them, the training, the installation, all that sort of thing. That's an extraordinary commitment on the part of the school towards its students and speaks, volumes of the relationship between SSL and Full Sail.
He helped us put that first solid-state logic in Studio A. And from that day forward, every time we toured, students, potential students, and every time our existing students sat down at that board to work, they were in a world-class studio. And that was the beginning of our global acceptance as one of the finest schools, one of the finest equipped schools in the world. So hats off to Don. Every time I see him, he's the same great guy. Passionate about the students, committed to Full Sail's growth and supporting us. And he's just been that good friend in lean times and in great times that every organization hopes and wishes that you have.
When somebody just comes up to you and says, "How are you doing, brother?" And he means it, that speaks volumes for the approach. I think Gary Jones probably embodies the ultimate spirit that has filtered down into all of the Full Sail people, because it's just fun to be there. The Full Sail family is, it's very embracing. I am very proud to confirm that I have attended every single Hall of Fame ceremony. I have enjoyed them. It's great to see old friends, to make new friends. It doesn't really seem like work if you're enjoying what you're doing and enjoying with whom you're interacting. And the team at Full Sail today is just, it's an amazing team.
Let's see some highlights from Tuesday night.
Don, it's always been a pleasure working with you. When I heard that you were receiving the award today, I couldn't think of a more deserving person. So congratulations, Don. It's a true honor for me to know you, as well as it's a true honor to have you as a friend of Full Sail.
On behalf of Full Sail and myself, I definitely want to say that Don is an icon for this industry. He's affected most of us in the audio world. He is really, really one of those people who is genuine and is not about a sale, it's about a relationship.
I am the luckiest person within 100 miles of here right now. And I just want to say thank you to everybody and to continue this. For as long as I draw breath and can get up every morning, I will come down to Full Sail and I will enjoy the company of these wonderful people and the creative people that I've met, the friends that we've made. That's been the greatest joy. So thank you so much.
Don Wershva, Senior Vice President of Solid State Logic. Don, congratulations on your Icon Award. Awesome. Welcome to a very, very noteworthy club. You're one of three, that's quite something. Awesome. And now, on with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. David Franco.
Hello, everyone. I'm backstage here. We're getting ready for the student block party. Students, don't forget, directly after the ceremony, we're going to be giving away many prizes. We're going to have more food. We're going to have more fun, so please stick around for that. As we look at the different prizes, you have, geez, I can see over there a bike, another Switch. Holy smokes, there's even more game consoles. Please stick with us. I hope you're having fun so far and you're completely ready to have more fun. Are you having more fun? All right. Well, it looks like we're ready up on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Da Vinci.
She is a 2009 Hall of Fame inductee, director of mixed reality experiences at Microsoft Studios. Please welcome Cordy Ryerson.
Hi. That was so cool. And I get to hang out with the Armada guys, which is awesome. Yes, yes. All right, so, I have been working at the crossroads of entertainment and technology for over 20 years. And I've been very fortunate to work with many talented and creative industry professionals. There's nothing better than when you're able to build a team and share knowledge and ideas, dream up something that is impossible, and make it a reality. And that is mixed reality. So this next inductee brings an energy and passion to everything that he does. He is so creative in his craft, and he shares that knowledge and brings others along for the ride.
My friend's older brother was messing with Tribes 2, and he was like, look, I changed the colors of the explosions. And then I played the game, and I was like, oh, your explosions look different. And he was like, you can do this. And I was like, what? I can change things in video games? So he showed me how to do it, and I started modding games and programming games and became obsessed. So I started with Tribes 2 and then moved to Warcraft 2. Around that time, people started building what they called hero maps. And that's where I started to get really passionate. And I would join games with people, and they'd be like, all right, let's play. And I'm like, no, I have to explain the backstory to you. It's very important. And very quickly learned that I didn't just want to make maps for people, but I wanted them to experience a story. I wanted them to experience some sort of narrative. But that was it. That was the bug. We had been bitten. And we're like, we should start making games. There's a school called Full Sail, and you can learn how to do show production, recording, or game development. I went and I was like, no, this is where I need to be. This is it. This is what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to make games. My best friend at the school, Matt Brenner, really wanted to move to Philadelphia, and there was only one game company that was in Philadelphia, and that was Megatouch Games. He's like, I'm going to work there. And I was like, that'd be cool to work together. It just so happened that Megatouch Games would come down to the school every few months, and I went and did an interview with them, and very quickly we were like, this is good for me and it's good for them. I went up there and did an on-site, and it was a lot of Full Sail grads, and we all kind of thought the same, we worked the same. I got hired to write code for games, and I kind of quickly became like the guy who could just do random things. I made over 50 games there. Most people have heard of Photo Hunt. By the end, I was lead designer. I ended up going to id Software and worked on Rage, and then we rolled right into Doom, worked on Doom 3 BFG, and helped a little bit with Wolfenstein, and then moved on to Epic Games, where I worked on Fortnite, Battle Breakers, and Paragon. When I left Epic, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I just needed a break. I'd been working for over 10 years, and so I just went off and visited family and friends and talked to mentors and talked to everybody. I just was talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, oh, could you give us some feedback on this thing? You know, we'll give you money for it. And I was like, oh, this is a thing? So I did that, and that was remote, and I was like, oh, this was kind of cool. And pretty quickly, I was able to get enough clients that I could sustain the lifestyle that I live. Most of my success can be traced back to really two things, which is my willingness to learn and do anything to ship a game, and my charisma, and my ability to connect with people quickly. And that's not fake. You can't fake connection with people. I have a vast network of people that I genuinely care about. They're my friends. They're not just colleagues or connections. They're actual people I care about. And if my clients need somebody, I can find somebody at the drop of a hat, because I'm just like, oh, I have this friend over here that does that. Somebody said to me pretty early on, like, when you're in Hall of Fame, it's just a better platform. More people can connect with you, and more people can contact you. And I love when students email me and say, hey, I have this one question, and that blossoms into a friendship. And I help them walk through their career for years. And being in Hall of Fame just means more people can find me and ask me questions.
To induct Grant Schonkweiler, please welcome career management consultant Rob Coble.
Hi, everyone. So, true story. I woke up this morning, poured some coffee, logged onto Facebook, and the first thing that came up on Facebook was one of those memories that they share with you. And the memory was, you and Grant Schonkweiler have been tagged in 30 photos together. And I thought, wow, what an appropriate day for that to happen. It's certainly no secret that I love this man we call Shonk. You know what I'm saying? So, in his great novel, The Dharma Bums, the great American poet Jack Kerouac wrote that one man practicing kindness in the wilderness is worth all the temples this world pulls. To me, it's easy to see why this would be Grant's favorite author. Like Kerouac, Grant takes in each new challenge with a warm embrace. For him, the road is filled not with obstacles, but opportunities. He moves through life with the intensity of a warrior, but always has time for a quiet moment or two with friends, old or new. I first met Grant a little over 10 years ago, right over there, 3B, when I was working here at Full Sail. His reputation had preceded him. He first came to my attention through social media. His avatar at the time saw him wearing a maroon velvet blazer, and he was smoking a pipe. He was not maybe, 18, 19 at the time. And keep in mind, this was back in the days before he patented the now iconic designer rugby jersey look that has become his trademark. But it wasn't these bold sartorial choices that grabbed my attention. It was more so the willingness in which he engaged and supported the Full Sail community. After a brief chat through Propeller, we arranged to meet at a recruiting presentation that was happening that week over in 3B. We chatted a bit that evening. It was pretty obvious to me from that point forward that this was a man to be taken seriously. It was the questions that he asked and the way he presented himself that really made him stand out amongst the crowd. I quickly learned that Grant had first considered a career in music production or show production and had come to Full Sail with the intention of doing so. He had worked back home with a few bands in the local music scene and loved music. However, his devotion and love for gaming was stronger. It kept pulling him into a different direction. In addition to his love of music and games, Grant has an insatiable appetite for literature, an unquenchable thirst for life. This guy really enjoys life, man. In fact, I learned there was really no subject to which Grant could not speak on without some degree of intelligence and certainty. And Mrs. Schonkweiler was laughing at that one. She's like, yeah, we can't get him to shut up. This passion for knowledge and life served him well as he began his career. He made friends easily, and he quickly established a network of industry contacts that he nurtured, and more importantly, helped in any way he could. His willingness to help and get involved has become a major theme in Grant's career. Keep that in mind. While interviewing for his first job at Megatouch that you just saw, he was asked his thoughts on what it takes to be a good teammate. Without missing a beat, Grant responded that he felt it's important to always let them know you care. In talking with Glenn after that interview, he told me Grant had the job immediately. That was all it took. I was a bit surprised at Grant's direction to go to Philadelphia. I had forgotten about the love affair with Matt, so it makes more sense after seeing the video. But, based on all his hard work and preparation and everything that he had done, I just assumed that he would immediately go into AAA games or work at some major studio somewhere. However, this was all part of his master plan. He knew that the opportunity to go and work at Megatouch would give him the chance to touch a lot of different things, and that could position him to even bigger and better things down the line. He was thinking 3 and 4 steps ahead. This to Grant was a career, not a job. He knew the switch to AAA would come soon enough, and sure enough it did. And that happened not just as a result of his brilliant work in programming and design, but due in large part to his ability to connect with the industry and establish a brand as a passionate and dedicated professional. He was well respected by his always growing network, and one recruiter in particular had her eyes on Grant from the start. Carrie Barcroft, who was a recruiter at Midway at the time, had first met Grant here, I believe, on campus. And she had recently made the move to id Software in Dallas and had been keeping her eyes on him. She basically was waiting for Grant for whenever he was ready to make a move, and when he was, she was ready to pounce. Throughout the 3 years that Grant spent at Megatouch, he continued to nurture relationships, not just with Carrie, but with others. And not because he was ready for a new job, but because they had become his friends. The residual effect of these relationships is what would spawn all the opportunities that have come to him since. Grant's involvement with the industry has never ceased. If he couldn't find an opportunity to engage and unite, he would create one. He continues to volunteer at the annual GDC conference and is active with establishing and participating in many other organizations, conferences, and gaming programs on an international basis. The number of times he came back here to speak at Full Sail to teach and inspire are far too many to mention. You know, I think I mentioned this to you yesterday, Grant, but I want to repeat it here for everybody because I ran into my friend Colin Sullivan yesterday here on campus. And he shared with me the story of meeting you 3 years ago when he was going through his undergrad in game development. Excuse me. He was so inspired by your chat that he said he knew right then and then he wanted to go into production. So after he finished his undergraduate, he actually re-enrolled back in, is currently going through the master's, and he's focusing on production and will be working in the game studio on capstone projects. And the cool thing is, like you, he's getting involved. This is just like one of the examples, and I could go on for days about the ways that he's continued to inspire students over the past 10 years. In fact, students in the audience, you guys would do well to take and heed Grant's examples. It's pretty simple. Dream big, but have a plan. Work hard, make friends, and most of all, get involved. If you do this, the jobs will find you. Grant made it look easy, but it was a lot of hard work. But there was one thing that he had that really made it all work for him, and that was passion. And reflecting back over the past 10 years, I can only come to one conclusion. The student has indeed become the master. I am grateful for all the cherished time that we've been able to spend together. I have so many memories hanging out with Grant, and my favorite is, of course, our annual pilgrimage to City Light Books in San Francisco each year at the GDC conference. We chat, we recommend books to each other while Kerouac's spirit floats about us. I always know that your passion for life and for people will provide the balm I need to comfort my own soul. I can never thank you enough for all of your great advice and wisdom that you've shared with me over the years. You're an old soul in a young body. He's always been there when I needed a shoulder or an ear to bounce an idea off of. I have attended baseball games, concerts, dinners, meetups, and conferences with Grant and always love watching him work. However, I'm reluctant to call it work. For him, it's just life. There seems to be no division. It's not just making games that inspire him, but the opportunity to live life to its fullest. So finally, Grant, I just want to say that I'm really proud of you, man. And what makes me smile the most is knowing that you've only just begun. Shonk Ventures is just getting started. There's a lot ahead. We're all eagerly awaiting what comes next. You remain a huge inspiration to me and to many others. The lesson we learn is that by doing something you love, finding balance, giving back, and being kind to others, you never have to work a day in your life. I know you will continue to do great things and continue to inspire us all in the future. So before you get back on the road, get that Kerouac reference there? Okay. Enjoy this moment. Revel in the love and good cheer. You have most certainly earned it. And now it is my extreme honor to induct Grant Wyler into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
Wow, thank you, Michael. That was some great walk-up music. I have my own theme song now. What? That's awesome. All right, thank you, Rob. I'm just gonna take a second. Hold on. Okay. I've been coming to Hall of Fame for 5 years, and I've been listening to these speeches, and everybody is just so incredible. And I was like, what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna say? What am I gonna talk about that is just as important to me? as it will be to each of the students here. And I came across this quote. It's from Churchill. He was a little, kind of important guy, saved Western civilization, no big deal. He said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm." So I'm going to talk about failure. I know that might seem weird. I mean, this isn't about failure, is it? Well, it actually is. I think you can't succeed without failure. And as I've been talking this week with other Hall of Fame inductees, we've all talked about our failures again and again and again. And we talked about failing and how we failed forward. So what we're going to do tonight for my 2 or 3 hour speech, no big deal. The bathrooms are over here. We're going to look at my failures and see how those failures became successes. So the first one came with a little game called Pokemon Red. My buddy not Matt Brenner, him and I had other failures. My buddy Micah and I were playing Pokemon Red, and as we did back in the day, we would swap cartridges back and forth and save games. And I taught Pikachu Cut, and for those Pokemon fans out there, that is a huge waste, and that is a failure. We got in a fight, there were fists, there was fighting, and then we looked at each other and we said, why are we fighting about this? We can make a better game than Pokemon. So we did. Well, we made a game. We made a game called Pokemon Killer. Those of you who feel like you haven't heard of it, that's because Sony, sorry guys, they said no. They didn't want to be sued. I did in fact send the document, handwritten. They never sent it back. If you guys can hook that up, thanks. I feel like I could put that in the museum here. But that was the day, that was the failure that changed my life. At that minute, I had started making games and I would never, ever stop. And I'm not gonna ever stop, ever. Now, the thing about failure is you can't fail on your own. Because if you don't have a support network, you just wallow in the failure. So tonight, we're gonna talk about support networks, and while we do that, I'm gonna thank my support network, some of whom are here. First off, my parents. I wouldn't exist without you. That's actually very true. Mom, I wanna thank you for teaching me for all those years, showing me how to survive pain and telling me that memories with loved ones are more important than 15 minutes on your favorite video game. Though I think that still paid off. Dad, from you I learned not just how to fail and succeed, but how to be a good man, how to lead, and how to put others first and love them. Thank you both for always having my back and for great advice. To my 3 big sisters, thanks for being the best playmates, travel buddies, and nerdy friends a guy could ask for. Thank you for beating me up to make me tough and showing me your favorite things, even for using me as a live baby doll. I want to thank my brother-in-laws who put up with me and act like my hobbies are super cool. Though we do like the plain thing, so that's cool. I want to thank all my nieces and nephews who are being babysat over there somewhere and won't see this, for bringing joy to my life daily and asking, but why? Over and over again. My next big fail was here. Well, it was right there, actually. Well, that building didn't exist, it was that building. For those of you in game dev, you have to do a pre-math test. Doesn't seem hard, but I failed it. And you have to understand, I'd never failed really in school ever. And this was traumatic for me. I didn't know what to do. I looked around at other people who had failed and were quitting. And I said, do I quit? Is that what I'm supposed to do here? And I said, no, I have a dream, and it's not gonna die on the first day. It's not gonna die on the first day, and it didn't. Now the thing about that, because of that failure, I met Matt, the guy with the big poofy hair. He looks like Toad. I met him on our first day of remedial math, and he was a cocky little guy, but he told me he played rugby, and I was like, cool. And then later he was like, I don't know why I told you that. That was a lie. I've never played rugby a day in my life. But those friends that I met that day, they helped me immensely. I had a lot of failures while here. You students You will have lots of failures while here. These are good things. This is the place to learn to fail. I'm not saying it's the only place to fail, but it's the place to learn how to fail and succeed. That failing, that growing is only possible because of the people who have made this place and the people who continue to make this place our home and a sacred place of learning. I want to thank them quickly: Gary, Isis, Rob Cato, Franco, Jay, Nell, Haifa, Michelle, Gallo, Hinders, and all the game design and development staff who continue to work tirelessly to this day, as well as the rest of the faculty here at this amazing place. And of course, the lifeblood of Full Sail. If they're the heart, the lifeblood, you, the students, you're the lifeblood. Yeah, you're pretty awesome, right? You inspire me every day to do better. Not just the days I'm here, but every day. And when you say, I've been watching your career, or I follow you on Twitter, I'm not creeped out. Okay, I'm a little creeped out. But I'm like, man, I better do something cool next. Like, Fortnite has 40 million players, the next game better have 100 million players. Your drive and passion is unmatched anywhere in the world, and I've been all over the world, okay? And that's why I keep coming back here. One, I'm terrified that you're gonna steal all of my potential jobs. But two, I'm a vampire, and I like to steal that passion for myself and fuel my future endeavors. So thank you for your passion. Hopefully you'll get it back one day from someone else. To my fellow classmates of game dev, Naveen, Matt, Dahlgren, Rusty, Bola, John Diaz, Carrie, you inspired me back in 2008, and you continue to do so today. Thanks for dragging me along, even when I couldn't actually understand how to program. The next fail is one that everyone here has faced, and if you haven't faced, you're gonna face it, and that's looking for a job. When I started looking for a job, Rob gave me lots of great advice, but part of that advice was, not everybody wants you, so you better, just shoot a lot of resumes out there. So I did, over 100. I heard back from 3 companies, and I had interviews with all of them, and then I had on-sites with each of them. So that equals about 100 failures and rejections. Each one, though, made me stronger, including the on-site rejections. Finally, I interviewed at Megatouch. I was used to rejection, but I said to myself, it would not happen today. I would not be rejected. And I wasn't, so that was pretty cool. I have to thank Rob Coble and, as he mentioned, Carrie Barcroft, who found me as a nerdy 18-year-old wandering the halls of Full Sail and have walked with me throughout my career. And they've supported me in more ways than, just career advice. Great days together, talking Kerouac into the night, and maybe over cigars. Mom, I don't smoke. Don't smoke, kids, don't smoke. Also, Kim and Warren, who have given me advice throughout my career, thank you. My last fail is recent, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about this because I'm being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Should I talk about a failure that happened last year? Yes. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Well, I wasn't, but now I will. I left Epic in September of 2016, and I was completely exhausted. I was burnt out and not sure what I was supposed to do next. I had failed myself. I hadn't failed my team. I hadn't failed anyone else. I'd failed me. I was physically and mentally unhealthy, and the deterioration was very real. While I loved my team and my time there, and I absolutely loved the game that we made, it was time for a break, and that was the hardest decision I've ever made. So that's what I did for 6 months. This time was invigorating, and it was refreshing. I spent a lot of time alone, on mountains, just talking to myself and to God. Big thanks to that guy. He pretty much did this whole thing, so thanks, dude. But I came down wiser and ready to do something like a monk of some kind. And here I have to thank my girlfriend, Caitlin, for pushing me to start my own things, for standing next to me when things got incredibly rough, and for exploring the world with me all the time, every day. Thank you. Also, thank you for letting me wait to meet your family until I was not homeless and jobless, because that would have been really awkward. Here's my boyfriend, he's super cool, he doesn't do anything, and he lives on couches. Lastly, to my Hall of Fame family, I want to thank you for inspiring me to do better work and to give back even more and to be a better person. You prove that being caring and self-giving surpasses all of our differences. Who would have thought that I would have met my twin in a mix engineer named Leslie? Yeah, I see you, bud. My support network has picked me up when needed and cheered me on when success has happened. I want to dedicate this to them, as well as to the students here. And I have to say, students, you have to find these people for your life. They may be parents, but they may not be. You have to find them and you need to cling to them. They're all around you. They're here, they're the faculty, they're the people sitting next to you. Now, I want to close with a little exercise. If any of you have been to any of my talks, you understand I never do anything that doesn't involve crowd participation. So this is your part to participate. Now, each of us is here because of specific people, okay? Each of us is here because of specific people. These people are in your mind, and I want to take 10 seconds for each of us to think about the people that inspired and have allowed us to be where we are. I'll watch the time. Thank you. And I encourage you to reach out to those people if they're still with us and let them know the impact that they've had on your life. Now remember, success is not defined by how much money you make, nor how famous you become. True success is defined differently, by failing repeatedly, learning from it, and trying harder, impacting those around you, loving others, and by living life fully, even when that means jumping out of airplanes every weekend. Mr. Rogers, a great sage, said, "We all have only one life to live on earth, and through entertainment, we have the choice of encouraging others to demean this life or to cherish it in creative and imaginative ways." Students, I charge you to help bring happiness to others' lives with your work. You can be the change in the world you want to see. You have to be the change in this world that you want to see. Fail early, fail often, but always fail forward. That's it for me, my loving friends and family. I'm so profoundly humbled to be here, and I hope to help many of you, on your journey to your dreams. You will make it. Thank you all, and don't forget, in the words of Toto, it's going to take a lot to take me away from you.
Welcome 2014 Hall of Fame inductee and owner of Detroit Chop Shop, it's Rick Veers.
I know what you guys are thinking, and yes, I have matching pants. I just chose not to wear them because they were really itchy. I'm a comfort first kind of guy. In 2011, my studio, the Detroit Chop Shop, launched an internship program with the sole purpose of becoming the coolest internship program in the world. And with the big help of my sponsors, we've been able to give over $250,000 in gear, software, and sound effects to my kids to help them get started in their careers, many of which were Full Sail grads. Mainly because I chose Full Sail grads at the top of the pile. Yeah! True story. Tonight, I am excited to announce the next level of that vision with the creation of Chop Shop Orlando, with a major focus on bringing large-scale productions to this campus in an effort to provide production experience for Full Sail students and graduates who will be working behind the scenes on full-length feature film productions and much more. So put your earplugs in, kids, because we're going to be making some noise around campus. And speaking of making some noise, let's give it up and check out our final Hall of Fame inductee.
The biggest lesson I learned at Full Sail that has helped me in my career probably is taking your dreams seriously. I started going into the placement office within, I believe, the first week that I was in school there, and continued to go to that office until I actually had a job secured for myself before I graduated. You know, I didn't wait until the last 6 weeks or whatever the recommended time was to go to the placement office. I just wanted them to know who I was right away, and I wanted to get at it. I would try to work as many different shows as I could as a stagehand, and there was a local company that did a lot of big shows in the area. And instead of working at the grocery store, that's when I started driving to all these Pink Floyd shows and working them as a stagehand, which I did the entire time there. And I think I did that sheerly out of determination that I was gonna succeed, because I was a little scared, to be completely honest, that, you know, there's all these other kids here, and what is gonna set me apart from not only all these people that are here, but all the people from other schools and all the people who aren't in school and all the people that actually have experience and are in already. Like, how am I gonna get in there? But it was a motivator to make me want to succeed. I didn't want to go back home to Pennsylvania. I wanted to go forward in life and pursue my dreams. So before I graduated, I've already got a job lined up at Maryland Sound. I worked there for almost 3 years, and I did a few tours with Michael Bolton. And there were a few support bands that I mixed monitors for. And then I left there and went to Colorado Springs and started working for a company called Audio Analysts. And that kind of started catapulting my career. I ended up mixing monitors for Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. And I took care of Clarence Clements, Nils Lofgren, Gary Talent, and Max Weinberg, the drummer. How I ended up working with Metallica was I had known the previous monitor engineer for some time, and I had heard that he was going to retire. So I asked him about it. He said yes, he was going to retire. And I basically went out there in hopes to get a shot at mixing monitors. There was someone that came out and was going to replace Paul, but that didn't work out. So I was the next person in line, and the first night I mixed was in December of 2008, and I mixed every show from that point forward, and the band's been pretty happy, and I was really lucky. It completely changed my life. It really comes down to, can you do it or not, and have people trust in you. You know, that's a big thing, and you have to be able to deliver all the time. You know, it can't be once in a while. It has to be all the time. You have to be really consistent.
Ladies and gentlemen, celebrating his 30th year with Full Sail University, please welcome Education Director for Audio Arts, Dana Round.
All right. Hello, Full Sail family, guests, all our friends, and are about to be incredible graduates over there and over here, I'm sure. I got to tell you a little bit about Bobby, because that's how I know him. In 1994, this guy was in the back of the class, and I was like, what's that guy doing back there? He's got a Metallica shirt on, and I'm checking him out. And, you know, got to be in that class. We had kind of a routine that we did. If you ask a question, and some of you that I had the privilege of teaching here might remember, we had some routines, and Bobby would ask a question. I don't call him Bobby anymore, he's Bob. But Bobby had a question or two, and he'd ask a question, he'd give a great answer, and everyone would say, "Excellent!" And for you guys over here, this guy had a dream. You heard how he went out to do Pink Floyd gigs and went out on his own. In fact, he'd ask me, "Hey, could I make up that class? I got a gig I gotta go do." I'd be like, "What? Okay, sounds good. This guy's for real. He knows what he's doing." He told me all about how he's gonna get there and get back to class on time the next week or the next weekend. The thing about Bob is he is, I'm not gonna say he was, he is driven. He's just like you guys sitting there. And, you know, we're going back to maybe 94 look at the career that you just saw that this graduate has. Incredible. Touring career. He's proof to you guys and to all of us that if you have a dream, you have the passion. You guys, we're not here for luck, right? We don't go out and get a gig by getting lucky. We're here to be in the right place. You're here at this school to get set up so you can get in the right place, have your dream, be successful, come back here and be behind this podium and do your thing when you're a Hall of Famer. I'm so proud of Bob Cowen. Now, I've got somebody special that actually wants to induct Bobby. And let's have a look.
Yes, congratulations to Bob Cowen being inducted into the Full Sail University Hall of Fame. Well deserved. He does my sound when he's not out doing Metallica sound. He is one of the greatest, his lifetime of achievement, and I just am extremely proud of Bob Cowen. Here you go. Enjoy Full Sail University Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Melissa.
Congratulations.
Man, I love that. Wow. I'm so proud of that guy. And I've waited a few years. You don't always get to be Hall of Fame the first year you deserve it. So I've waited a few years and really voted for him. When we're in this industry, like everybody sitting here, you make friends. And Hall of Fame is such a wonderful time because we all get together. There's so many friends. I'm seeing Don sitting up there, my buddy, Bruce in the back, all these people that we're a big family, right? And you'll find that out if you don't know that by now. So along your career, you meet some other friends. And there's a couple other special clips here of friends of Bobby's.
Hey, Bob. It's the boys from Metallica here.
Hey, Bob. What's up?
Congratulating you on your induction into the Full Sail Hall of Fame for rocking audio all over the world for 20 plus years, and we believe on 7 continents. I think hopefully all of those
were with
the
us.
boys in Metallica here. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good work.
I just wanted to say that Bob has been probably one of the best monitor engineers I've ever worked with, and hopefully get to work with again. So congratulations.
Bob is currently in tour with Metallica in Mannheim, Germany, and unable to join us tonight. But he did send along this message.
Hey everyone, welcome to Hall of Fame 9. Thank you so much. I really wish I could be there in person. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend. I am doing what I do out here on tour at the moment, and I just want to thank a few people. I really want to thank Kirk Squires, my admissions rep. Without him, it definitely would not have been possible for me to go to Full Sail. Thank you so much, Kirk, for listening to all my phone calls and taking my dreams seriously. And you're a great guy, and without you, none of this would have been possible. Thank you for changing my life. I would like to thank Dana Round. Thank you, Dana, so much for providing all the resources and insight and personal touches you've put on my success yourself. I really appreciate that. I'd also like to thank Tammy Elliott. Thank you very much for allowing me to come into the placement department much before I should have been there, allowing me to use your resources and great department there of people. Thank you so much for that. I also want to thank Hunter Menning, my studio maintenance course instructor. Taught me things that I never thought I was able to do, and eventually figured out that I didn't really want to do some of that stuff. So thanks, Hunter, for the knowledge, because I still use it to this day. Really appreciate it. What a great guy, Hunter Menning. I'd also really like to thank my family. Without them, of course, this would also not be possible. My parents for supporting me early on. And
Whoa. Hey, you know what? That was live from Mannheim, Germany. And I guess we didn't want to say anything until we knew we had him live. And I got to say how proud I was to Bobby right before I came out. And he's got a gig tomorrow with Metallica. That's why he can't be here. Yeah, man. We got him. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hey, what's happening, Full Sail? Right on. How about that crew? Amazing crew, right? They got it working. Well, my journey started in 1993 with my admissions rep, Kirk Squires. Kirk, thank you, man, for changing my life. I'd not be a part of this unique and amazing university without your kindness and your attention to detail that you showed me when I revealed my dream of becoming a touring live sound engineer to you. Kirk, thank you so much, man. I owe everything to you for that. Dana Round. Wow, now there's a guy. Thank you for sharing all your wonderful touring experiences with our class and me personally on many, many occasions. You inspired me. You encouraged me to go after my dream, and you told me that I would succeed. I became stronger with your encouragement and with your help. I worked many stadium and arena shows while I was attending Full Sail and going to class. Like 11 shows that I worked on the 1994 Pink Floyd Division Bell North American Stadium Tour. Also, Rolling Stones, Billy Joel, and Elton John stadium tours, and a lot of other arena shows along the way. Dana, thank you so much, my friend. Couldn't have done it without you. Hunter Menning, thank you for making a studio maintenance class fun. Like, that couldn't have been easy. That had to be a tough task. You were a big inspiration daily. I'm so glad we've been friends for so many years now. You rock, Hunter Menning. You're awesome. Tammy Elliott, thank you for being so supportive during my entire time at Full Sail. I definitely pushed the boundaries by being in the placement department just a couple of weeks after my first day of class. Back then, Full Sail was a little different when it came to the placement department. Students were not supposed to be using those resources until about 6 weeks before graduation. Tammy embraced me and my excitement for starting the job hunt pretty much immediately. Tammy, again, thank you so much for the excellent attitude you shared with me. You really showed me what it takes to get a job after school. That was a really useful information that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else. I'd also like to thank all my course instructors and lab instructors. What a ride it was, fast and furious, but all amazing experiences and memories to last a lifetime for sure. Jay Noble, what can I say about this amazing guy that we don't already know? Jay, you have been such a warm and humble friend who has always been having my best interests at hand, no matter what. You're one of a kind. Gary Jones, where do I start with this superhero? He truly is a Full Sail University superhero. Things that this guy can accomplish are not human. And talk about being professional and gracious. His skills and integrity are second to none. I've witnessed such generosity from this man to others at such a high level. Not many people can attain that. For sure, one of the best leaders I've ever known. And definitely thank my family, my lovely wife, Summer, my daughters, Angelina and Candace. Love them very much. They've been so supportive. My parents, Jane and Bob Cowen, couldn't have done it without them. My sisters and all of my friends that have loved and supported me my whole life. My success would have not been possible without you guys. Thank you so much. The last group of people I have to thank for sure are the bands that I worked with over the years. Starting out in the early 90s with Crushing Day, from learning things in a bar and small clubs, from a band that put me in a place that I really didn't deserve at that time in my career. I was really, really young and hungry and green, but they had patience with me and they saw my desire. And Crushing Day, thank you so much. Some other bands you might have heard of, thank you so much, Ringo Starr. Blues Traveler, got to give a shout out to John Popper and Blues Traveler. My first real touring experience mixing a big band was with Blues Traveler. They gave me my first shot. Thank you so much, guys. Spent 3 great years with you all. Loved it very much. Of course, Bruce Springsteen. And I have to say, Melissa Etheridge, one of my all-time favorite artists I've ever worked for. Such an amazing woman, just an amazing human in general. Just really caring. I know for a fact she would be there tonight if she wasn't in the studio doing what she does, recording a new record. Mark my words, we're going to get Melissa Etheridge to Full Sail University some point in the future. I guarantee it. Even though I'm far away in Germany on tour, I feel like I'm very much a part of this experience, and I couldn't be more happy and more honored to accept this amazing gift of being part of such a fantastic group of Full Sail alumni and the rest of the Full Sail Hall of Fame people that have been inducted and are being inducted tonight. Congratulations to each and every one of you. You all deserve it. You're all amazing people. I feel honored to be part of such a group. And I'd like to tell anyone that is about to embark on a journey at Full Sail University, or anyone that is having a dream, basically, the Full Sail folks here, they take your dreams very seriously. If you have the drive and the passion and the sheer willpower, you can achieve anything that you can dream. I'm proof that manifest destiny is possible. Keep that dream alive, for sure. Once again, we got to give the crew props. You guys are awesome. You guys have been at it for days making this event happen. You guys are amazing. You're the best. Great job. Love it. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the ceremony. I got about 4 hours before lobby call. I got to go to work and do a show tomorrow. But you know what? I would have stayed up all night if I had to be a part of this. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
In celebration of our Hall of Fame class, and to reveal their 6 new Hall of Fame panels, welcome back Da Vinci.
Congratulations, new inductees. Welcome to a wonderful group of people. You guys are great augmenters of that great group. Wow, how about this, eh? What a night. What a night. So here's what's next, ladies and gentlemen. Center section. If you would all rise and head right this way to join us in the Hall of Fame grads and inductees reception right over here. Wings to the left and right, and the bleachers, if you would hold just for a brief few moments while we empty this section. And then your block party begins right here. Congratulations, grad. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Students, please hang tight. We're about to get ready for your block party. We're just going to let our guests travel in front here. So if I can have you guys hold back on the sides, please, and keep a clear path here.